Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop.
Hey y'all, Jacob Ledrup here.
Hey guys, Chuck Ritchie here, formerly of Bowl TV.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Schaefer of track staff at Valley Bowling Center in Waverly, New York.
And you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Yo, the boys from Straight Up 5, Rad Rob, Dr Ocho, and of course JP Jr.
As you know, JP Jr. used to be introduced as the sexiest man in bowling and now the world. But he doesn't have the best hair in the world. I do. Sorry, bud, but you know the deal. Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation.
Strike, and they claim it. Somebody does it!
So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I am your host, Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Grilled chicken from Popeyes now. Unfortunately, they don't have a jingle for that. This is episode number 151. Hard to believe. We are so close. 49-ish episodes till we hit 200 sometime next year. Let's see who's in the chat before we get started. We got Wayne Chester. What's going on? Good morning, fellas. Thank you all for the great interviews. Appreciate that. OG Gecko, what up, dog? Billy M, what's going on, brother? Alex Bermudez, good evening from behind the drill press in Modesto, California. Hello, sir. Nico, I'm not late. You're late. We're both late. So, yeah, no, it is what it is. Hold on. I'm getting a text from Johnny. Oh, okay. All right. Our faithful host is giving me instructions. Good deal. Mike Ruther, what's going on, brother? Good evening. Sperone's in the house. What up, dog? Good to see you. We appreciate you. Johnny says, take me first. Johnny, I will take you anywhere, brother. Michael Hanlon, what's going on? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. All right. Ocho is doing daddy duty, so let's just skip to... Oh, hold on. Pete Cow. What's up? Needs a kidney, Rob. Looking good. I can see it in your face. Nice job. Probably see it more if I shaved, but I absolutely appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm in the gym every day. I was taking Sundays off. It's 7 days a week. It's Sexification 2025. That's what I'm going for. All right, let's bring in the host with the most. Number 7 on your program, number 1 in your hearts, the sexiest man in the world, Johnny Petraglia Jr. What up, JP? Looking slick, brother.
Thank you, brother. And actually gonna feed off needs a kidney because I notice the same thing. It's like every week I see the jawline a little bit more pronounced, a little bit more amazing, and it's just goes to show everybody if you decide to do something like what Rob's doing right now, it's going to pay dividends. Simon Sinek is one of my favorite inspirational guys ever, and he says, if anybody ever wants to go watch somebody that actually makes sense when they speak, it's Simon Sinek. And he always says, if you go to the gym, one day you'll see nothing, 7 days you'll see nothing. But if you go for 30 days, you'll see everything. And in 90 days, everybody else will see something. And the fact that Needs a Kidney is already recognizing what's happening to your jaw, as am I. Good old Ocho's wife, the first thing she said when I walked in, she said, "Oh my God, you look so much younger than the last time I saw you. You look less full in the face." Like, it's just like anything else. Anything you're consistent with is going to be reflective. And obviously Rad Rob is inspiration to not only us, but everybody that watches our show. So I think that's definitely going to be hands down the best comment of the entire day. And Rob, you really do look great, dude.
Thank you.
You're trimming every single week. I cannot wait to see 100 episodes from now what you look like.
I'm not giving up, dude. I am going
You obviously decided this for your own reasons, for nobody else's reasons, and we commend you for it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I did find Bane in straight up 5 version because he sounds like Bane in that Batman movie. I think it was The Dark Knight or the second one, but there he is.
What up, Ocho? It is the house hack from Howell Lanes, Dr. Ocho. I'm getting there. I'm it's there.
Are you, Rob? Are you getting there?
I am. I don't have a neck yet.
Even John Sperone of all people is going out of his way to see you put down the Popeyes bucket and hit the gym, and he's proud of you.
Yeah.
You want to talk about reaching one voice that always has the answers because he's been in every single realm of it from front to back is John Sperone. So,
That's
John,
true.
Thank you for your courtesy towards Rob and your awesomeness and standing behind him the same way you have been on our show since day one. Rob, keep going, brother. Me and Ocho are definitely proud of you, dude. Like, big time. Wait a minute.
I'm super excited to be able to wish Ocho a happy birthday today.
Happy birthday, Nicole. Yes, Nico, I am closer to finding my neck. Every single day I take strides into trying to find my neck.
Yeah, I mean, we may have to have like some celebratory thing here. It's like on episode number whatever when Rob finally finds his neck. And then, I mean, we could have banners, ribbon cutting, all that fun stuff. We'll make it. Let's get some t-shirts printed. Let's get this shit going.
Just tires is going on, brother.
Once it's where is Rob's neck to we found Rob's neck.
I do.
Nico, is Kyle going to be mad at that? Like, that's not nice.
No, of course not. Kyle,
that's true. Awesomeness. And again, he also gave me the Ocho props when he did the birthday gimmicks there back.
He did.
Ocho's birthday is every month, by the way.
I've been pondering making a new logo only because it's been 3-4 years now, and it really kind of it's difficult to print the vector of this logo on merchandise. So I just for shits and gigs put some ideas into the old AI on the interwebs, and I started with Grok, which is Twitter or X's AI.
You didn't take the old logo, did you, Rob?
No.
Okay. All right. Insider for just the three of us.
I literally said, make me a bowling logo in pop art style for a bowling show called Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. And this is the first result.
That's very Spinner's Rubber Band Man 1970s.
That looks like right? Rowan and Martin's laughing, maybe.
How do you pronounce that first word?
Straight night.
Straight guy. Maybe it's German. I don't know.
Straight guy. Oh, so they're thinking it's probably I gotcha.
So after that, how do you pronounce with upside down?
Myth.
It's Myth John Horny.
Straight guy of 5 Myth.
Yeah, but you're missing like the word horny in there too.
Horny Petraglia Jr.
It's beautiful. Imagine if they just spelled anything right.
Correct.
This is like the worst tattoo I've ever seen that I would definitely print on my body.
I think
this one was fun. I didn't put in the guy. They did that automatically.
All right, so the fruit stripe gum gimmick is working. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this as well.
I think we might actually go with that.
Jerry Johnson, baby. What do you think of these? This is so
Straight,
Kingpin. This is so 1970s nostalgic. Serious dad shit.
Is this like German?
This one says "Strike ut ut with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
This is the German version. This is
Johnny
literally
Glia Jr.
Now we're German and fucking garbage.
Still early.
All right,
Still
so
early. We got plenty of time.
what else?
Straight up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Johnny-O.
You look good.
Not gonna. Does anybody speak English or
Is that
spell
Josh
English?
Hartnett
Does
in there?
anybody spell English?
Is that Josh Hartnett in that picture, by the way? Like, is it possible we got him?
This one I love, actually.
Johnny Piglia. Awesome. Awesome.
Oh,
I
and
love the hat,
no
though.
vowel in between.
So does this guy know the spelling of my family's name?
You spell
Or
out
do you
exactly
not
the
know spelling
directions.
of my family's name.
No, he said he spoke it.
It's AI. It's just you spell it. You give it written directions. And
Well,
Oh, you wrote it. Oh, I thought you told it.
You kind of suck talking to AI because they've missed
it
on
was-
all the chords and all are good.
It was written text. It was written.
It's all good.
You missed all the chords.
All right, so this was Chat GPT, which actually
That's
came
better.
out a little bit
That's
better.
better. At least that's English.
How many holes are in the bowling ball, though?
4.
I get it, but like,
that's old school Belmo. Two
Yep.
fingers, old school Oscu, 2 fingers, thumb hole, and weight hole when you're allowed to. We can do that.
But would they be in those areas? I mean, it looks like
No, they would be in those areas for me.
it
Or
looks like
Cassidy Schaub or like the studs on the left side.
It looks
that
like
didn't use
they're. It looks like they're taking the term "let's go bowling" and doing something totally different. with
I
it.
will say this,
absolutely.
Rad Rob. All the images are great, but the grammar can eat my asshole.
Yeah, pretty much.
The grammar is pretty garbage.
with a spork.
This one was really good, but then they didn't
look
put
at
the
the
last
chat
name in
right
it.
now. Paco Petraglia, Sweet, Who's Yanni, Myth, Hanny Petrags, and then at least we have Jerry
Although, now
Johnson.
we're
Jerry
going-
Johnson's like, hey guys, men of God. Like at least he understands that this guy's like doing some work. But kudos to Rob for looking for a new logo.
I'm working on it.
Put on our
But
merchandise.
maybe that taps into a new demographic when it's Juani Petraglia or something like that.
Kwame Petraglia. I think this one is my favorite so far.
Yeah, with
Hold on.
5 horny, straight up 5 horny Petraglia.
I actually like that one too. Straight up myth. 5 heels. Petraglia
It
Jr.
literally says straight up,
Yes.
up 5 myth horny Petraglia.
Of all the
This
shit they
is-
got wrong, or they got right, Petraglia was.
Tell me what they got right there, Rob.
Petraglia is the only thing they
Aside
got.
from the last name
and horny.
Tell me what they got right there.
Up 5.
Yeah, up 5.
Up 5.
Exactly.
And this one, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this one.
Straight up.
This sounds like this is the beginning of a game show. It's like, are you ready
or
for
the start of a great song.
Are you ready for straight? And that's the crowd. Straight.
Oh,
Ooh,
Jesus.
Joyous,
Fine,
joyous. We're going up the strag. Yo, ooh, straight up with Joyce.
Apparently, AI is just not. The AI has some work to do. Yeah. But anyway, I just thought that was.
Good job, Rob.
I like all the images, Robin. Thank you again for always presenting.
Make all of them.
A great intro that brings ideologic. And speaking of ideologic, here's Bermudez from Modesto, California. What's he have to say? He's one of our biggest fans and one of our favorite people.
How big
Johnny's
is he?
silhouette of him posting a shot, or Rob's head, or Ocho flexing,
or all three.
Maybe all three together.
Yeah.
Can we get one of Rob's neck? An image
No,
of
we
Rob's
can't.
neck. But we haven't found it yet.
Now we can see it. Now it looks normal.
It's 1/9 of a neck.
It looks normal now.
1/9 of a neck.
All right, let's get to
anyway.
bowling. Yes, all of our guests are here to
Yes,
talk
let's
bowling.
get to bowling. I think we found this guy. I don't know. He won something this past week. I don't know, something about a world championship, and he's won 3 in a row, and he's got, 26 titles now?
Ish.
It worked. The reverse psychology worked. EJ watches the show. He got fired up, and he won the world championship. So you're welcome, EJ.
He said, I'll find Rob's neck, damn it. And it's at the world championship.
No, congrats to EJ Tackett for winning back-to-back-to-back.
And he was in every
World
freaking show. Just did he miss one?
No,
he actually literally made every show. Yeah.
I mean, shouldn't there be a fucking I'm not up for participation trophies, but that's the longevity run right there. You made every show in motocross. When you make every main, you're somebody.
Wait a minute. We got Mark Galinga. My boy, Mark, I'll actually say this out live on my show. Thank you so much for being there for my alcoholic self
a
couple weeks ago. Thank you so much for pulling me aside and being a great man, and not only being great to me, but being great to my dad. I will definitely announce that on my show tonight because you're a great man. But I want to say this about EJ. Everybody wanted to shit on EJ for losing the first 3. The same way they want to commend him for winning the next 2, right?
Yeah, sure.
I know one was Brooklyn, but like Ocho just said, when you're the best in the world, like he got mad and then made another show and then won the 2 biggest ones, and he beat, in our eyes, up until EJ's entrance onto the PBA Tour, the GOAT. He beat Belmo. That was a story right there, man. This guy, we talked about EJ 2.0 when he won with Marshall while I was still in Vegas.
Yep.
And now, since he's been here and he's a little bit older, a little bit more age, a little bit more experience, he's turning into Walter Ray. He's turning into the guy that every single week is there. When they showed that stat, Ocho, where he made every single show this year.
That's absurd.
Against the talent that's out there. Forget about Simo, Belmo, Andrew Anderson, the Bones. Like
and now with all the podcasts that they have that show how hard it is, all these podcasts now. I don't mean to cut you because now we really have a deep dive in on how hard it is, and these guys are like, I'm plus 10, I'm in 180th, but I really bowled good, and you're like, okay, and then they'll do better on another pattern. This guy literally got there on every pattern. Like, that's you can't. Most people can't do it on a house shot.
And Rob, I'm going to add to that.
So that's it. That's all I have.
Because we have to add one more thing to what Ocho just said. He does it with one company the same way Parker Bone has since 1987.
Yeah.
Parker chose to stay with Brunswick for whatever reason it was. And EJ's been committed to one company his entire career since his inception on the tour. And we are watching the same kind of greatness that Storm provided with Belmo or Pete Weber or Norm Duke. We are watching greatness with one company, with one bowler, week to week, with his thumb in the ball. This is Robert Smith on too many steroids. And the kid is just solid. He's perfect. He is great with the crowd. He is the definition of a future legend. There is, if anybody has anything bad to say about EJ, I may as well call them out and tell them they're fucking worthless.
Well, they were saying like who Kimberly Pressler doing the interviews. Who's the most intimidating player to go against? They all said 20 of them. Prather,
how can't you? How can't you?
EJ is like, I don't know why.
EJ.
And they're like, well, because you're beating everybody. That's just it. You're there every time.
It's not even a thought making the show for EJ. It's a thought of like how he's going to win on TV. My only goal in life is to make one TV show.
Right. He's got that already figured out.
I've already got that. I just want to kick their ass when they have 3 more games ahead of me when I'm the tournament leader.
He just figures how's he going to do it. And then get to TV, and then he's like, okay, let's figure this part out.
Like Dave Peakow says, like Roth in 78, but also 77, 79, and 84. 34 titles, Dave Peakow. I'm glad you brought that out. The same way Belmo from 2008 to 2020 was unstoppable. And now we see Belmo on TV, who we've interviewed twice. Even Belmo is trying to figure out now a way to beat the younger guys.
Yeah.
That to like almost preserve his crown before he goes home to Australia. And that's not a knock on Belmo. That's kudos to what follows.
Yeah.
And when we die, when the 3 of us are gone off this planet, we got to watch Tom Brady play football. We got to watch Jason Belmonte bowl. We got to watch Tiger Woods play golf.
Michael Jordan, Larry Bird.
Now we're starting to see Scotty Scheffler. We're starting to see Rory come into the world. Tigers falling out because of injuries. We're starting to watch
It's a transition now too.
Dude,
Yeah.
like,
You get to watch
you would
Ocho Hall
think in
in.
every single generation, like, there's no way somebody can be better than this guy, and then EJ shows up.
Yeah.
Rob, what do you think about this?
Every generation always has their superstar, right? Like there's always going to be somebody that's younger, better, stronger, faster. Guys are in better shape now than they used to be. Back. We'll just take any sport, honestly. Like when a pitcher got to 40 years old, he's done, right? Like
they used to throw 300 innings a year too, but they know how to manage better. They know how to train themselves better, exercise the muscles necessary for each sport as technology is going, which is going to happen.
Guys aren't in the bars drinking every night. You know what I mean? It's the athletes nowadays are different. But yeah, I mean, seeing somebody like Belmo, you're like, holy shit, he's got, how many majors? 15, 17 majors, whatever. He's got,
if EJ was a two-hander, I would think different.
Rob, can you bring up Jeff Skyer's comment right here where it says EJ was the 5th seed? This is a great question.
EJ was the 5th seed, is the highest seeded player knocked out in the round of 8. Do you like best of 5 or 7, or do you prefer the old school match play format?
I like that. I actually like that at that point because they were the best to that point. So there's incentive. Like, I actually enjoy that because that guy should at least be on the telecast. If you're gonna pursue making it for TV, bringing your fans to the light of what they did all week, yes, I actually totally like this. If you're the highest qualifier and you lose, you definitely should be at least on the TV show. The reason when it came to the Masters, I hated the fact that the tournament leader would lose one match on TV after being the only undefeated bowler throughout qualifying.
Right.
I like that idea, and I think that the PBA will eventually migrate towards that. So I love that question by Jeff Skyers. My buddy Omar Harvey in Bermuda. Go ahead, Rob, read this one.
Omar Bermuda, love your podcast. Robert is my dud when we bowled against each other at the Lee Evans tournament in Florida in the 80s.
So I'll answer for you, Rob. Omar Harvey was one of my dearest friends when I had my stores in Vegas. He used to travel from Bermuda for the World Championships. I would drill him and Maxine some bowling balls. I'm not sure if Maxine's still around, Omar. I'm sorry. It's been a lot of years. But you got to remember, outside of the USA where bowling is still relevant, it's super relevant across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Malaysia, you go to China, you go to Korea, you go
Singapore.
Somewhere where the entire world revolves around what you do. Shaolin Zulkifli, I've talked about her a million times from Malaysia. Shaolin is on Nike billboards in Malaysia. She is Michael Jordan in Malaysia for what she does here. We saw our friends from overseas win some titles at the World Series. You have no idea how much that changed their lives going back home to their country.
Right.
And that's something that bowling offers that is unrecognized in the Olympic field. So the idea that, listen, everybody's going to be an asshole at some point. Everybody's going to tell you you're not good enough. Everybody's going to tell you everything. I bowl at Majestic Lanes where everybody strikes. Want to know what I do when I get there? I strike and I shake everybody's hand. They're still nice to me. Imagine doing that on a global scale. I'd rather hear both sides of the tale because it's not about faces, just places, faces. But it both comes from where your face is. That's Black and White by Michael Jackson. So, like, I'm feeding off that kind of shit. That's the way my brain works. So, I mean, the World Series, and thank God for guys like Tom Clark. I'm going to say that now that I'm 40 years old. He allowed the entire world to enter the world that we know as normal. And now the entire world knows that the international group is fucking fabulous, dude. Like, bowling is such a great sport on so many levels.
That's true. No, you're absolutely right. And just imagine in the bowling world when a guy like Belmo goes all over the place, like he takes the time, I've seen it personally, to sign every single autograph. Like even if he's having a shitty day or a bad block, like he never says no to a kid or anybody that ever just wants to say hi, shake his hand. And a lot of bowlers like that. I've seen Kyle do it. Kyle Troop is amazing with the fans. And, we said it, I don't know how many times in the show, but bowlers are literally like the common man, right? Like even though they've had so much success in their world, it may not be as well known as, say, a Tiger or a Jordan, blah, 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 blah.
Bowling is intimate.
It is.
It's intimate. So let's be honest. Everybody that's ever met Norm Duke says Norm Duke's the greatest guy ever. Want to know why? Because Norm always signs autographs on his way to the paddock. And then he comes back out and he signs more autographs. Randy Peterson. Randy Peterson used to tell people on bad weeks, I'll be back in 5 minutes. He'd go in the paddock, slam his shit, and then he would walk out and shake everybody's hand. Danny Wiseman would shake everybody's hand. There are Marshall Holman, who is one of the craziest son of guns on the lanes to ever exist, would never, ever, ever deny, ever, ever, ever deny an autograph. He just wouldn't do it. Neither would Adam Leto. Our sport is so intimate with our fans because, like Belmo said, they can relate.
Yeah.
Just like golf. Like in golf, the greatest players in the world have a 6-foot putt. Anybody that's ever played golf can make a 6-foot putt. They can read one putt, but can they read 18 putts a day over 4 days against the greatest players in the world? But they can relate. It's the same in bowling. Like in bowling, you can relate to bowlers that throw strikes.
Yeah.
Messengers make spares. You can. But who does it more than Walter Ray? Who does it more than Norm Duke? Who does it more than Pete Weber? That's like here's aside from Ocho, here's my other favorite human in the world, Mr. Nick D'Ambrosio, whose entire life is committed to not only his children and my dad and me. This man right here is like, Rob, respectfully, we've never met, but I've known this guy for 20 years and I've known that guy for 10, and both of them would jump in front of a bullet for me, so I have to read this man's comment. Same goes for Dad and Parker. Always signs and loves their fans. Parker goes out of his way to clean the approaches at rev rates.
Parker's next level.
A lesson that's being given by somebody else.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and he bowls league. And then he goes and fills up pitchers of Diet Coke and water.
That's the thing about him.
That's
you see him there
like,
carrying like he's doing like the basics.
Parker was literally going to go to AC/DC with me in Nashville.
Chat, I have to piss. I'll be right back.
Piss.
Parker was going to go with me to AC/DC in Nashville in May, but he has to bowl the PBA 50. Like, that's how he's literally going to fly down just to go to a show. Like, that's how down to earth. And he never says no to anybody. You've said it before, Oach. Like, Parker, I don't think he's ever said the word no.
He's just so damn personable.
He
and
is.
Like,
but he genuinely means it too. Like, he's not just trying to be.
It's not a facade or anything.
Yeah.
It's the darndest thing.
He's amazing. He really is. His whole family's great.
Just it's wild now, and he shows his personality a little bit more, even obviously on the show that he's on with his what's it called, the Bone Legacy? No,
Bone
that's
Legacy.
not the one.
Yeah,
what's the?
Yeah, it's the Bone Legacy.
It's a Bone. Okay, then that's him.
Yeah,
but and he's actually a witty guy, but he does
really
it so subtly, like as if like he doesn't. He's this is why he wins the nice guy award all the time. What do you know?
But when he's in
Lady
competition,
Ding in hockey. I don't know what the hell it's called in bowling. But.
When he's in competition, he talks trash, especially to his kids. It's so funny to see.
But I doubt we'd hear him talking smack. Either way, he's just, you see how he is. It's what you see is what you get.
Absolutely.
Nobody's gonna go, oh man, this guy's putting on a facade. No, he's just He's competitive. You don't
He's
win, what, 36 titles and then how many senior titles now? Like, you're not.
He's had a double Hall of Fame career. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
And he's a Hall of Fame guy. I mean, it's just, hello, Dave. What's going on? He is bad to the bone. Absolutely right. I'm going to bring the mood down just a little bit because I actually got a request from several people on Facebook to talk about someone in our bowling community that is struggling right now. He's 19 years old. He was just diagnosed with cancer, and it's Ocho, you're a doctor. I don't even know if you know what this would be. Choriocarcinoma. It's a rare and aggressive form of cancer. I don't know exactly what it affects.
I won't go into it.
But it's not good.
You already made it somber. I'm not going to delve into that one, so we're good.
Ramsey Robles, who's 19 years old from Casa Grande, Arizona. He bowls for Tennessee Wesleyan University here in my home state of Tennessee, in Athens, Tennessee. He does have a GoFundMe, which I'm going to throw up right here if you want to copy down that address, or obviously you can just Google it. Just Google Ramsey GoFundMe. It'll be the first result that comes up. It doesn't matter what age you're at, but 19 and especially when you're an athlete, is just very. It just stops you in your tracks, right? It just takes your breath away. Like, we don't ever want to see anybody get sick, but for a guy that young who has so much promise and is so beloved in the bowling community. Guys, if you can help out, even if you don't have any money, you just want to spread the word and share this on Facebook. I'll show the clip here that I have from Facebook.
Yeah, I'm sorry I was late, Rob.
That's fine.
What's the Ramsey? I'm gonna give a crap where you're from or what you do, but nobody ever wishes anything like this upon especially a young kid who loves our sport. So Ramsey, and it was I'm sorry, Rob, I forgot the coach's name.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Campbell, Jim Campbell, right?
Jim Campbell is the assistant
James
head
Campbell.
coach. Yep.
Anybody that gives this much to the sport, anybody that is alive doesn't deserve this at this age. So anything you guys can do, there's the stuff. It's right there. Whatever you can do, whatever you guys can do for Ramsey. Salute.
There's a QR code. If you guys just want to scan the screen, it'll take you right to that page as well. The post on Facebook was from Tennessee Wesleyan Bowling. It says, with saddened and heavy hearts, we at Tennessee Wesleyan Bowling are asking everyone to join us as we stand along with Ramsey as he fights his battle with this horrible disease. As of now, he is currently in the hospital. He's thousands of miles away from his home and his family, and he currently is without medical insurance. He needs a lot of love and prayers sent his way. We know with prayer, anything is possible. Hashtag Ramsey Strong. Hashtag Rally for Ramsey. Again, the QR is on the screen right now. If you want to scan that, it takes you right to the GoFundMe, or search Ramsey, Ramzee, for anybody listening in the audio podcast.
Hey, Dougie, I know you just got here. I'm actually going to ask you to do the same thing, Dougie, and I never warrant anybody else's connections, but I'm actually going to do it live on our show. We're here with Dougie Vision, Dougie Heron. Our boy here, Ramsey, is battling cancer. Wesleyan in Tennessee, I hope I said that right, Rad Rob. But we're trying to get this kid who doesn't have insurance a little bit of cash to stay alive and like wake up and be alive and be awesome and enjoy this thing that we all take for granted, like for sure, dude. So Dougie, I'm talking to you as a best friend. Just reach out to everybody that loves you and to everybody else in the chat that's already sending all your prayers. This is awesome. I know we always bitch. We're always stupid. We're always, like all that nonsense. But this kid needs to be alive. That's all I got. Is that pretty cool?
Fair enough, man.
And and with all of our help and hopefully everybody else's that's been reaching out from Tennessee and all across the globe, all the way across the world to Australia, like our friend Keegan Tasker, or our friends in Japan, and anybody watching this show, if you can do anything for this kid, come on, man. Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Daniel Robles, I don't know you, honey, but we got you, baby. We got you. We're going to do everything we can to help this cause. Oach?
Absolutely. Yes.
How do I top that? I mean, that's it.
16,000 raised already. So God bless the people that have already donated.
We're in the corner.
But yeah, it's
the fight never ends.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I'm not gonna lie. He's also handsome as fuck.
Yes, he is.
I use the F word, so I'm gonna go back to the bottle.
Oh, we stopped doing that.
I'm gonna go back to the bottle.
We kind of.
He's also handsome. So
yeah. Daniel's here. Thank you.
That, at some point,
no problem, Daniel.
Tell
him that we're pulling for him. We're praying for him, and I will personally keep an eye on the situation, and we will try to share it and spread the word as much as we can. Johnny, if you ever see anybody in Majestic or Howell, and
Jeff, thank you very much. And that's going straight to Ramsey's family, dude. That's awesome.
That's badass,
and that's like way above and beyond as actually we expect from somebody like Jeff Skyers, because he's been like that since I've met him. I've been the asshole in that relationship, but he still moves forward to take care of somebody who can't take care of themselves, dude. And respectfully, I'm sorry this is a little bit mushy for me, but that's.
I think
I wasn't here for the opening of you talking about this. You told me about it.
You didn't miss much. He just laid it out, and then you got it at the perfect time. Actually,
I think we've all either known somebody in our family or had friends that have been affected by cancer, whether they've gotten through it or they passed away from it. I think it's in this day and age, especially when it's more prevalent. I don't know anybody, honestly, that hasn't been affected at all. So everybody knows, what they're going through. I've had, friends and family pass away as well from cancer. It's not,
I lost,
it sucks. It really fucking sucks.
I'll say this out loud like I do every single week. My dad's father, Grandpa Bill, Mr. William Petraglia, he used to dye fur, and so like under his nails were covered in like that purple dye. But he took my dad bowling for the first time, and my grandfather used to walk me up the block to go get a pack of Kent cigarettes. Kent's. This is like in the era of Tarry tins and like all that bullshit. And I would go up there with my grandpa Bill. He'd be wearing his Bryson DeChambeau hat, and he would buy a pack of cigarettes, and he died of lung cancer. And I'm assuming I'm going to also, unless I change something. So thank God gave me a couple more years than Ramsey on this planet. But
we're not counting them out yet either. That's the other thing.
Look, he gave me a couple more years to at least look at what's going to happen.
Given where you're at. I got you.
Thank you.
I got you.
Thank you. I should have said that. But Ramsey, I know we're a small unit here, but I will tell you this. Me, Rob, and Ocho, we're here every single week, and everybody in our chat shows up every single week. We've got you, dude. We're going to try and help you in every single way possible. And please wake up tomorrow, bro.
Pop in, man.
Love you, dude. Love you, dude. Very, very much. Was that pretty cool?
Yes, sir. We appreciate that.
I mean, that's the whole. That's just it. When you're speaking from the heart, man. That's all you can do.
Absolutely.
Nobody deserves that. Nobody.
So getting and thanks for everybody for spreading the word and for donating. We appreciate everybody. Anyway, to move on back to bowling. Johnny, you mentioned last week about Easy Slide, and you were very passionate about that topic, and I know you wanted to talk about it this week. So as we close out in the last kind of, let's say 10 minutes, 15 minutes before we get to the imbecile, let's talk about this. So what is going on with it? I've heard a lot of it in the Facebook groups and the chat rooms and all that. What's the deal with the Easy Slide gimmick?
What's the deal with Easy Slide?
I'm going to open with this. My Morehead State roommate, Greg Thompson III, bowled 300 in Baton Rouge, rocking Jordans this week.
Someone scanned the code. Thank you, guys.
So apparently the USBC allows non-marking rubber on their shoes. When it comes to, God cripes, when it comes to Easy Slide, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Okay.
So they put it on their shoe, or they put?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they'll dump out a little bit, and then they'll touch the bottom to slide a little bit more.
Okay. Oh, and doesn't that leave it on the lane then, obviously, or like?
But like bowlers like Greg Thompson wear their bowling shoes. Bowlers like Brandon Burwell, bowlers like J.R. Hunter, bowlers like Michael Haugen, bowlers like Jess Stayrook. They wear
guys that plant, I guess you're talking about.
They're wearing their non-marking rubber tennis shoes.
Oh, they're wearing sneakers. You're shitting me.
Yes. And apparently, I watched Greg Thompson bowl 300 in Baton Rouge using a purple hammer up the gutter. Nice job, Mr. T. Fucking love you so much, dude. But apparently they either missed it or allowed it. So I'm not sure, because I guess I would consider, if I was an asshole, a foreign substance is non-bowling shoes and also Easy Slide.
Right.
You know?
Because that could leave, does it? You said, you always say non-rubber. That means the rubber would leave a little tread or something like that. This is a new thing for me.
If it's black rubber, like their trail.
Oh, God, of course. I got it.
The trail leg leaves a streak.
Gotcha. Understood.
And you have to step over it. But if it's non-marking rubber, you just plan. And then most people are like, he wore those inside. He was outside wearing
his car.
those.
He was going to the parking lot.
Such an asshole. He should have never worn those. And meanwhile,
they could have been.
They just say it to be dicks.
Yeah, they could have still been shoes in their bowling bag. They're just not. They're just shoes in their bowling bag.
Brandon Burwell rocks the greatest Jordans ever that he only wears when he bowls. So he walks in with another pair of Jordans, which I'm envious of.
Fucking A, man.
They're
Jordans.
They're beautiful.
Those poor
kids. Then he changes into some more high tops that he only bowls in.
All those poor kids that have to make those shoes, man.
Well, John, let me ask you this: why do they make it then if it's a hazard on the approach?
Easy Slide is just powder, right?
Well, they don't, and that's the entire argument. It's a what's the word?
I thought it was for your hand.
The shoes?
No, Easy Slide.
Does your hand slide? You fucking moron.
I thought it was to get your hand out of the ball.
It is.
Okay.
But on the bottom of your shoe, maybe it makes you slide more.
Oh, that's a clever name, actually. That's a good
point.
I'm
not actually concerned about that.
That's
I'm concerned more about the shoes. And apparently you're allowed to use them in USBC because we watched Greg Thompson bowl 300 today.
So somebody who wants to slide more can just, okay. Now, no.
That's what you're missing.
No.
Like, you're not allowed to put a foreign substance on the bottom.
Right, you said they do it like a pitcher, like they do like this, and then they give a little swipe.
Well, they don't let you use rosin on your ball either.
If it's bowling shoes.
Oh, okay.
If it's bowling shoes.
Missed it. I
missed it by that much.
I'm the big red wiffle bat misser right now. That is my fault. Go ahead. Okay. Take her away. I got you now.
But like my friend's worn sneakers his entire bowling career.
Gotcha.
And they allowed him to use them at nationals.
So it's like you got one advantage already. Now you want the other applicable advantage on top of which should be a bowling shoe.
But I'm on Greg's side. not USB.
I don't care either way. I'm just seeing like how that can be a discrepancy. I can just see how someone could say, "Wait a second.
He wore those shoes outside. He stepped in shit, and now I'm sticking."
And now but then he put his Easy Slide on though, so you should unstick.
These are my bowling shoes. I wore these shoes walking in. No, you didn't, you piece of shit. That's how people act.
I love the accent. I can't get enough of it.
I'm trying to like do what I'm used to.
That's mom. Like I know. Like
no, mom.
You're not having the pasta tonight.
Hey, do me a favor. When you're as good as my husband, then you can fucking talk to me. That's my mom.
Did they also ban rosin bags though for your like you can't put rosin on the ball anymore as well, right, John?
Well, you could never put it on the ball, right?
You're allowed to tap it and then wipe it off on the surface. Then they got rid of tapping it at all.
Oh,
That's what I thought.
So far beyond. I didn't even know that. Who knew?
So, like, when you see somebody tap the ball, you would assume, like, okay, just by looking at them, maybe he doesn't know the rule. Tell him about the rule. Like, give him a chance, dude.
Gotcha.
Give her a chance.
You can do the whole bouncing your hand as much as you want, though,
if
right?
If they don't know you're allowed to tap it, they don't know. When it comes to the shoes, same thing.
Wow.
Well, let me ask you this then. Boog, and maybe I'll ask him what he uses, always pulls out a pouch out of his pocket, puts his two fingers in it, and then puts it back in his pocket.
That's white rosin.
Okay.
That's like true, like pool player's chalk. Okay. So when he's digging his fingers, he's looking for every single reason to dry out these fingers when he drives them in there so there's no sweat.
Gotcha.
So he can grab it and let it go. That's what I always did when I used my thumb.
Gotcha.
That's totally legal. West Malott. Go watch 05 to 08 West Malott or Tommy Jones. Watch them dig and tap and then put their fingers in. That was the norm. It was the norm.
Georgie's in the house.
That's a fact, by the way. What he just said.
You don't need rosin. You just need to just eat Blue Chew. We need to get them as a sponsor, by the way. We
got to talk about George Hart real quick before we feed into whatever you got.
Sweet blend
next. Just saying.
George Hart's one of my best friends ever, and I am proud to say that on our show. And if anybody needs a haircut, go see George. The experience, aside from how amazing the haircut is, just sit there, listen to his music, learn something new, and talk to him about God and why we're here, and talk to him about life. He's the greatest man in the world.
He is very good, yes.
And that's all I got about that guy.
He takes care of our Johnny.
That guy's my other Butch and my other Nick. So
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Speaking of perfect, you were not perfect this week, which is the subject of this week's, I know it's hard to believe, Imbecile of the Week.
Y'all are stuck with me for the Imbecile of the Week. Let's go.
It's time for everybody's favorite segment.
If you guys don't know how to use a seatbelt, just ring your call button and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Here's the Imbecile of the Week.
Some people are really stupid.
What up, Clifton Don 74? What's going on? PD's in the house. Hey, we got a pro in the house. I mean, we always have pros in the house, but what's up, PD? Dude, PD's bowling his ass off lately. Good job, brother. Former alumni of our show.
Wait a minute.
Eddie Bird's here as well.
We just found Eddie Bird.
What's up, Eddie Bird?
Wait, Ocho, come back real quick. We have to say something to Eddie Bird. We got to say something to Eddie Bird. Eddie Bird.
Searching for Masters title. Yeah. Aren't we all?
Obviously, you know me, but you've never met this man. If there's ever a day that you and Ocho cross paths, and actually Rob as well, Eddie Bird is truly one of not only the best bowlers I've ever met, but one of the greatest people I've ever met.
So we'll open up a wormhole to a new universe, basically. Is what
Eddie
you're
Bird
saying.
and I share a best friend named
think
Jen
Elon can do that.
Russo, and he also is one of the best people I've ever met. That's all I'm going to say about Eddie Bird. So,
All right.
Eddie, thank you so much for being here, brother.
Appreciate
sorry
you,
I
Eddie.
was not in Baton Rouge, brother. I'm sorry I wasn't there.
By the way, 4 people scanned our QR code for Ramsey. Thanks, everybody. You guys, dude, our fans and our bowling community are the best people ever. Seriously. All right, Johnny,
Go to your baby.
you are the imbecile of the week, but we don't know why.
So it's no secret. Can you put the frame on me? Just for a little while.
Sure, give me one second.
Just block it. Just me.
Hold on, wait. Nope, shit, that's not it.
I'm gonna do this right now for our fans.
Hold on, I'm working on this. Why can't you? This is.
That's good. That's good.
That's
Keep it like that. Keep it like that. Stay here.
There we go. That's a little bit better.
Okay, so I'm.
All right, got it. I figured it out.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm going to tell our fans, aside from everything they already know about me, something about me. On Monday, I bowl with the greatest team ever, Marvin, Emerald, and Nick. And last week, we lost to the number 1 team, and this week we bowled them again. I got up in the 10th frame the last game. And in Howell Lanes, you have to step off the approach, and then you have to step back up. And I left the 6-8 in the 10th frame to lose not only game 3, but also the wood. I had my T-zone on my shoulder like this, my black night sky T-zone, and I dribbled it like a basketball. And I heard it pop, and then when it came back up, I fucking popped it again, and I kicked the shards out of the way. 8 fucking ways from Sunday. The ball went this way, this way, this way. Went everywhere. I kicked it, threw the spare shot overhanded. Apologized to the team we bowled. Apologized to my team, and also apologized to my dad. And then last night, I bowled against Glenn Moore, who bowls with Tommy Martino, the owner of Majestic Lanes. Was the best night ever, had the greatest time ever. The first game, I beat Glenn Moore 269, 268, and tied for the high game pot with Jeff Charay and J.R. Hunter from Northern Jersey and Staten Island. Second game, I threw the back 6 for 259. I turned 528, and Mr. Moore had 502. The last game, I rung 10, second shot in the 10th, missed it, shot 216. Mr. Moore shot 238. I beat him 744, 743 for set, and I also lost the team game by 1 pin the third game. You want to talk about bittersweet? Here's the best thing I've got for anybody that bowls. No matter what happens when you bowl, no matter what you think is going to happen, just bowl, just try, just be awesome, and don't do what I did on Thursday when I smashed that ball in front of my father. Don't do it. Just put your stuff away, go home, and start over, because this game is going to kill you your entire life. But every time you do some fucking work, it's going to be there for you. So to all of our friends that watch our show every single week, to Rob, who puts everything together, to Ocho, who not only does the work here, but also adjusts my body every single week for the last 20-something years. We only do this for you guys. We only do this for people like Ramsey. We only do this because this sport has given us a chance to live our lives. I'm 40. My dad has gone out of his way to make sure that me and my sister have a life, which, by the way, I'm a brand new uncle come September 10th.
Congratulations.
Jamie, I'm announcing that to all of our viewers. Ocho, I'm announcing that to you and your daughter who's watching Wizard of Oz outside. And I have to actually say something to Brendan Burwell and Najee Myers and Yvette. Yvette, I don't know your last name, honey, but the amount of love you show me is the reason I try and love everybody else that's here tonight on this show. So to everybody that's watched Straight Up 5, to everybody that donated for Ramsey, to everybody that's contributed to what Rob does for this show and what me and Ocho try and do to supplement it, thank you guys so much. I wouldn't trade anything in the world. 150 episodes. We're definitely going to do 150 more. Don't give a shit about money. Don't give a shit about anything. Don't give a shit about anything other than the truth. Just being here for you guys, being here for us. EJ is the new age Walter Ray. Even Belma knows it. So that's Rob. That's all I wanted to say to everybody in the chat, dude. I just wanted to shit for a little while.
I appreciate that, but this is something I have to do.
All right,
that's for you. That's
right.
you know.
Kind of looks like me.
It's to scale, so
it's definitely to scale. At least the ball hair is.
No, I appreciate that, Johnny. I mean, you're always candid on the show, and you always tell the truth. This is what this show has been all about. It's not always, like you say, it's not always about bowling. We talk about life issues and stuff that everybody deals with. We all have anger issues at sometimes, and for you to man up and talk about it and apologize in front of the world, that just speaks volumes about you and your character, and that's why everybody loves you. That's not blowing smoke up your ass. That's the truth.
Is it kind of safe to say that we're all crazy, but every once in a while I just talk about it a little bit more?
Yeah, probably, yeah. That's fair to say.
Sean Peck is here, my retired police officer, my police chief. We have Sean Peck, Larry Fisher, and Rob Baldwin on this show. I've got Neptune all the way to fucking Perth Amboy. I have friends. I have friends in the police community that protect us every single week, and I have the actual pleasure to bowl with Sean this weekend. I cannot wait to win that tournament at Majestic this weekend with Mr. Sean Peck. You want to talk about, he's my East Coast Rob. He is as gentle as you are. He's as to the point as you are, and he just makes sense, dude. And Dougie, like we've talked about Dougie all the time. Dougie, if we had 10 more Dougies, the bowling world would be a lot better. Dougie's just a great man. We need more people like P-Cow. We need more people like Nico. We need fucking more people like Clifton Don. We need more people like Sonny. We need people to understand what it takes to do what we do in the world that we do, in the realm that we do.
Billy B, another one. Do we have
Mr. Bernavich?
Our community is fantastic. Always have been. They literally have supported us since day one.
Billy, I would trade my left testicle to hang out with you every single night, brother. And I just said that live.
You did.
Thank you, Billy.
What about the right one? What are you gonna do with that?
I'm gonna keep that one. But
that reminds me of the Red Sox commercial. I think it was the MasterCard commercial from the Sox.
I also miss JJ Sunday.
Oh, yes.
I saw Sonny over here, and I forgot about Billy and JJ, and obviously Stephanie and Eric. I mean, like that's my family, and Martha. Martha goes out of her way to make sure this entire clique stays together.
What's up, bro?
Everybody.
Valerie's here as well. What's up, Valerie? We're about to wrap up, but thanks, guys, for showing up. It doesn't matter if it's in the beginning or middle or end. We appreciate you guys being here. I was going to say something, but I lost my train of thought, but that's fine.
Can you find it and finish it?
I think we're done. I think unless you got something else.
I want you to find what you were going to say.
You said something about your left nut. Oh, when the Sox won in 2004, they had a funny commercial for MasterCard of all the Boston comedians. Like, I think it was Dennis Leary or one of the guys literally said he would give his left nut if the Sox won the series. And they were coming to claim that bet and take his left nut. So when you mentioned that, it just popped up in my head. But yeah. Speaking of which, oh, hold on. What happened to Doc?
Doc Sullivan?
I'm assuming, yeah. We don't talk about him anymore. Actually, I gotta look at my block list on Facebook and unblock him, and just tell him how much he sucks. So.
Wait a minute, Rob. I have something.
You do?
I'm sending it to you from our good friend, Mr. Nick D'Ambrosio.
Oh boy,
what do you think about this one?
That fucking guy.
I just sent it to your phone. If there's any way you can toss that up. I'm not sure if him or his beautiful and amazing daughter Amanda made this, but whatever happened, that family loves us the way that we love each other. And that man's given me every single opportunity to be amazing. So I'm not going to close out the show until you at least figure out a way to show that.
All right.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that is cool, actually.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to say something to Eric Hodorowski as well as Stephanie Sheridan. Stephanie, congrats on the 1904 at Nationals this year at Baton Rouge, because you are always perfect. And thank you for letting me know how much you miss me. I'm sorry I couldn't be there this year. Eric, thank you for being...
Eric is the bomb.
Can't say anything about Eric. I can't even. He is so perfect. It embarrasses me. It embarrasses me.
It embarrasses most of us. I mean,
he's that. So
no, he is.
All I can say is thank you, Eric.
We got to get both of them on the show. We always have Stephanie on, but we've never had Eric on, and he's like, I feel bad. Like we've slighted him.
Eric is the definition of perfect. Eric wakes up, goes to work, then he mows the grass, then he drives us to league, then he sits there and watches, then he runs the pots, then he drives us home, then he puts us to bed. Eric is the definition of perfect. Yeah, that's all I got. I can't even tease him about that. I can't even tease him.
No, you really can't.
Perfect. He's perfect.
Johnny Sperone, I love you, buddy. Appreciate that. This is from our boy,
Mr. Hodorowski.
This is from...
No, I'm sorry. Is that from Nick or
from
Eric?
Nicky. Yeah, that's
Nick. I'm sorry, Nick. Mr. D'Ambrosio. I like this one, Nick. I like this one.
But the 4 holes, I don't get it.
I still like it.
No, I like it too. We're gonna keep working on that because we do need something that's easier printable than the vector that we have, which I love our logo, but it sucks on products.
Rob, will you bring up Jeff Skyer's comment about alcohol after you're done with this?
Sure.
I want to talk to anybody that actually drinks it too much.
Which is a lot of us. Our beloved friend Jeff Skyers says, alcohol is fun, believe me, I know, but I also know the effects of it. I messed up 2 relationships, spent thousands of dollars, lost my job, all because I couldn't control it. The alcohol controlled me. Like I said, if any of you need to talk, reach me on Facebook. 9 months sober this month. Congrats on that, brother. 9 months, even 9 days, 9 hours. I mean, anything, 9 minutes. But 9 months is great.
I'm going to respond to Jeff here, and then we can close out after this because we definitely reached out to everybody we should have, right? Did we miss anybody?
I think we're good.
All right. So listen, can you bring up Jeff's comment again? All right, just leave it there. And I follow somebody on TikTok. His name is Dwayne. Alcoholic has a negative connotation. It's everybody always assumes when you say that word that that like it's shitty. It's not shitty. For anybody that's ever had problem with alcohol, it's not shitty when somebody calls you an alcoholic or when you say you're an alcoholic. It's actually just letting the world know where you are mentally. And if you've actually designated like what you are, it's okay. You don't want to be an alcoholic anymore? Fine. You got to work it the same way somebody is trying to lose weight. Do I call Rob a dietitian? Do I call Ocho a masked dick? No. Do I call myself an alcoholic? No. But am I an alcoholic? Yes. Rob, are you a foodie?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Ocho?
Are you saying am I a dick?
Ocho?
Am I a masked dick?
Are you a douchebag? Yeah.
I mean, if the mask fits, but
barely.
There's no true term for this yet. So I'll set the precedent.
But we're all here. And your U.S. Open champion and player of the year, Mr. Troy Lynn, is living proof that you can do whatever you guys want.
Yep.
So Ramsey, and to everybody that was here for Ramsey, we're all behind you, brother. We love you very much. And I'm here with my doctor and my best friend, Rob. Shit. Rob, you're this way.
Yeah, I'm right here.
I'm sorry we didn't have any guests tonight, but you did have us. And I hope to God that y'all go to sleep tonight knowing that you got some friends in your corner. Rob, I'm the imbecile tonight. What do you got to finish?
Again, just to reiterate what we talked about earlier, check out the QR code. It's in the chat right now. It's also on the screen to support Ramsey Robles, a 19-year-old who bowls for Tennessee Wesleyan College here in Athens, Tennessee, who's away from home, away from Arizona, in the hospital without health insurance. So if you guys can check out his GoFundMe or even just spread the word, even if you can't donate, just tell somebody about it. Just telling somebody it goes a lot, goes a long way. So Nico wants to know what's coming up after the Masters for guests. We have a laundry list of guests. We got Tim Mack coming on the show.
We don't like to freaking show our hand either, man. Like you come for the freaking surprises, damn it.
It's true, but I will let you know that
doing the intros the other night. I mean, for Christ's sakes,
Valerie, thank you for always being here, Val. We love you, baby.
Timmy Mack is coming on the show. We also have who did Skyr send me? Chris Schlemmer is coming on the show. Shout out to Rich Pavlik from Majestic Lanes, by the way, who reached out to me and said he just started listening to the show and he loves the podcast. He suggested getting Kelly Kulik on the show. So I know we mentioned that a long time ago. We need to hook that up as well. So yeah, we're always searching for people to come on, or we just BS like we did tonight. So just stay tuned. It's right there.
He wins.
Rob, before you go, Ocho just said something that actually means something to me.
Oh, shit.
We need Kelly Kulik on the show.
We do. Yeah.
We need the 2010 true breaker. We need Kelly Kulik and we need Scott Norton. We need two people that broke barriers in their old minds and also kicked the shit out of the fucking PBA tour on both spectrums on our show. I'm going to steal Kelly because I've craved Kelly since I was like 13. I remember taking...
Like I do with White Castle crave?
I remember, no, like...
Okay.
It's
I
like,
do.
It's like this. I remember hanging out with Kelly Kulik on lanes 3 and 4. It was me, Kelly, and Marianne DeRupo. Anybody that doesn't know Marianne DeRupo or Kelly Kulik, turn off our show.
That just sounds like a Jersey thing. Like it sounds like you're at a pizza shop.
Watch
me, Kelly Kulik, and Marianne DeRupo.
Watch
We're getting
these
a cheese pizza. That literally sounds like exactly what.
Watch these two women throw a bowling ball. I would like to hear Kelly's journey and then her 2010 265 195 victory over Chris Barnes.
That I remember specifically
at Red Rock, where my old store was. I would love to have you guys watch that. I'll find Kelly. Chuck
can get Marianne on the show as well. We'll get them both.
And Bruce Kulick has her same last name, and he was a guitarist for Kiss for how many years? So
that's true.
Bruce
Kulick.
Oh, come on, John.
Until 1996 was a guitarist for Kiss.
Get a load of this guy.
Like Belmo says, he's the phone a friend guy.
Hey, did you see Aaron Rodgers went to the Steelers?
No, I looked it up because Sperone posted it, and it didn't happen yet. Fuck him. He's gonna probably.
I see you already lost.
Marianne DeRupo, if you're watching, all I want is a bullwhip and an actual whip from AMF based off the way you threw it. And Kelly, all I want is a 3D offset and your brain and your registered shoes. Love you both.
That being said, take a look at our new logo.
Straight ups with joy. Hey, look, at least I spell my last name right.
That's
my first name.
All right, guys, we are out of here. We'll be back next week. Enjoy the Masters. Who's leading?
Good night, Good night, Valerie. Love you, baby. Valerie Shalor. Love you, babe.
Yeah. And we love you. We love all of you. But, we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, same bat Johnny. I got nothing else. That's it. Say goodnight, Johnny.
Thanks for a great show again.
Nah, man, you got it. Always.
Thanks.
It's my pleasure.
All right,
guys, we appreciate your support. We will see you next week. I'm going to hit the outro. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to this edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. You can follow the show on Twitter at Straight Up 5 Pod. Follow Johnny Jr. at JPJR07. Follow Rad Rob at Rad Rob Gaming. And follow Dr. Ocho at the Dr. Ocho. Got a question for Johnny? Send your questions to straightup5podcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. Right here on the Rad Rob Radio Network. The following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop.
Hey y'all, Jacob Ledrup here.
Hey guys, Chuck Ritchie here, formerly of Bowl TV.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Schaefer of track staff at Valley Bowling Center in Waverly, New York.
And you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Yo, the boys from Straight Up 5, Rad Rob, Dr. Ocho, and of course, JP Jr.
As you know, JP Jr. used to be introduced as the sexiest man in bowling, and now the world. But he doesn't have the best hair in the world. I do. Sorry, bud, but you know the deal. Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation.
Strike, and they claim it. 7-0 lead does it.
So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I am your host, Rad Rob, Rob Francois.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
I do.
We all love that chicken from Popeyes. Let's see who's in the house. We got Chuck Ritchie. What's going on, Chuck? Chuck's been bowling well of late. Still not good enough to be on this show, but that's fine. We got Nico Puhar. Rob, EJ hasn't gone anywhere. He's on every damn show. It's a fair point. But we're still going to get into that. Crambone. What's going on, Crambone? Alex Bermudez, good evening from behind the drill press in Modesto, California. Good evening, sir. Peekow's in the house. What's going on, Peekow? We got Frank from Japan. What's going on? Morning from Japan. It's been a while catching alive. Yeah, it's good to have you here. Konnichiwa. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Let's see. Come on, we got more people here. Everybody say hi. Come on, it doesn't hurt. Don't be shy. Everybody say hi. Look, we are firing on all cylinders lately. We are a well-oiled machine. We are running smoother than the Houthis running from a drone strike. Life is good. Oh, Nicole's here. Hold on.
Hi, I'm super excited to be able to wish Ocho a happy birthday today.
Happy birthday, Nicole. Ron Evans in the house. JPJ, love the show. Good. All right. Let's not ado any further. Oh, he's got his mask on. He's ready. People are watching the PBA show. That's true. That's true, Chuck. Of which EJ is going to lose again. 5 times. All right. Let's bring in my first co-host. Is he really a co-host? I mean, like, yeah, I know I say I'm the host, but I mean, we're all hosts in our own right, in our own way. PD's in the house. What's going on? Patrick Dombrowski, alumni from Straight Up 5. What's going on, brother? Non-exempt winning is wild. We have a lot to get into. So, all right, let me bring in the number 2 guy on the show. Well, he's really he's number 3. Well, let's be honest. There's so many things that I have said about this man over the last 6 to 8 years. But he's still, come on. He's the heartbeat of Straight Up 5. He does the software drops. He doesn't always do it correctly, like last week when he gave the wrong script to Belmo, but that's fine. But he still has the golden mask. He still has the largest. I'm working on it, though. Hold on. This one. Look at the gut. I got a tricep. That's good. He is the resident doctor of Straight Up 5 and the Howl House hack, Dr. Ocho. Hey, wake up, Oach. What's up, brother?
Oh my God! Well, what the hell, dude? That's just you filibustered, and I don't know what you were saying. And
we don't have a guest, so I need to.
Yeah, I know. Well, here's the thing, Rob. I would say that everybody thinks you're number 2, especially with how you do the intros. So I was trying to do this for so long that I cramped up. So let's get a little bit of biceparitis here and get on with getting on.
I'm still jealous. You haven't been to the gym since COVID, and you still have bigger arms.
You have way more reasons to be jealous than that.
Well, that's just one of them. Let's bring in the man with the name of the marquee, number 7 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, the sexiest man.
What does that even mean?
What?
What does that even mean?
Have you ever seen the movie Fever Pitch?
Oh, Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah.
Was it about Nomar?
Ish.
Nomar! Well, who's number 7?
That's Johnny's number, like 007 or 07, whatever. Fuck, I don't know. Ask him why he likes 07.
Oh, it isn't.
It's his Twitter handle, his X handle. We've been over this.
We haven't.
Okay. Johnny Petraglia Jr., you look bored. What's going on, JP?
Just enjoying the intro, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for 18 minutes.
A lot of really, really useful information there for the first 18 minutes. Don't mind my lighting. I felt like sitting in the living room tonight, and unfortunately, we haven't installed a lamp in here yet, so I have this little tiny one here. So I'm just going a little bit dark.
Do you really install lamps, or do you just plug them in and put them on a desk?
Do you really, really love the lamp? Or?
You love the lamp? I love desk. I love desk.
Are you just looking around the room and saying things that you love?
Basically, yeah. Well, and actually, simultaneously, I'm watching the bowling show on.
And I don't have playing bowling on right now. It's in the other room because I'm outside enjoying the fire, man.
So let's why don't we just basically dive right into what?
Where does Tom Smallwood put his thumb?
Goes into about the first joint on the thumb.
But is it in the thumb spot or is it like on the side of the ball? It looks like it kind of like.
No,
it looks like it's almost even with his.
He has a pretty inline grip, but he's a full roller, so the ball may look weird because the pin placement and mass bias placement, the ball is pretty much completely upside down.
Oh, and him having his half knuckle in means he can actually tilt around it a little bit to stay under it. So yeah, that's why it looks.
He's one of the very, very, very few two-handers, or excuse me, full rollers that can make the ball roll like a standard, 3/4.
Not so much here.
What's up, Frankie?
But it's right here.
Big Saxon house.
I do. But yeah, he's been Tom Smallwood. Has been a great player since I was a kid. I remember watching him at the World Match Game tournaments run by Tommy and Tita Semez back in early 2000s, and I remember watching him and saying, "Man, that boy is good." And
he good. He can sing.
He's good.
I do.
Plus, I think his chin is hanging out with Rob's neck somewhere.
Yeah. I always thought Smalls like resembled what Mr. Potato Head would look like in real life.
That's or a lifetime, a life Muppet.
Yeah, one or the other. But yeah, anyway, let's let's just jump right in here because I have my 10 cents on the title of tonight's show about, I guess, like what's up with EJ. First of all, anybody that's a bowler and anybody that's been successful at any level in bowling understands how streaky bowling is.
Sure.
And streaky can mean different things for different players. There's some baseball hitters who will go on runs where they'll hit 12, 15 bombs in 1 month and then not hit another bomb for the next 2 months, but strike out 60% of the time. There's streaky players like that. Then there's players like a Tony Gwynn where home runs were few and far between, but he hit the ball basically almost
anywhere he wanted and what he would say when he's going to hit it. There's some fun stories about him.
The person to discuss, like to compare what's happening to EJ right now is a player of a similar caliber in Sean Rash. Sean Rash, if you guys remember, when he first came out on tour, he actually became the first player to make it through the TQR into the exempt field. And when Sean started his career, his first 4 TV shows, he won everything. He was undefeated on television. He won his first title in West Virginia. He won his second one at the Beltway Classic in Maryland. He won his third one in Medford, Oregon, and then he won his fourth one at the Masters in Miller Park. And then Sean hit a stint where he couldn't get out of his own way on television. You started seeing more of the balks, more of the missed spares.
Ocho doesn't wear any.
But I can't remember which World Series it was, but Sean Rash, I think, made all 4 of the 5 shows out in South Point one year.
Did he miss a bunch of 10 pins on that show too?
Yeah, a lot of missed spares, a lot of
single pin stuff. Yeah, friggin' brain stuff.
And we watched him lose every single attempt. Meanwhile, we watched Belmo win 3 in one World Series, which was the most. I'm pretty sure it might still be the most. But like somebody said earlier, we're so used to seeing EJ win as of late that it's confusing to people when he doesn't. It was the same thing that happened to Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods went from winning every week, and now it's like when Tiger is not in the top 10, you're like, what the hell is going on? What happened to him?
And EJ's only throwing one errant shot that I don't even think he thinks it's errant. I think he is either equipment deficient at that one time or the ball. He made a move one board left or something, and the ball did something he didn't think it was gonna. I don't think it's lack of execution. It's just, well, maybe that is lack of execution, I guess, but it's not. It wasn't a bad shot on his part, is what I think I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he's not going out there and bowling 160s and 150s.
And whiffing on everything, yes.
Right. Like earlier on in his career, you could visibly see that the EJ on TV was not the bowler that was bowling throughout the week in the tournament. Now, like if he's losing 220 to 210, it's like you just said, Ocho, it's one shot that isn't 100% up to his standards. And it may not necessarily be a split. It may be, like you said, ball selection, maybe a quick lane transition. I mean, anybody that's been watching the World Series, all the guys are basically in the same zone on every show, and they're just varying speeds and changing ball surfaces. So you can only really manipulate the lane beds in one center so much. But the real thing is basically what is boiling down to here is EJ's television record is way better than a lot of Hall of Famers, even when he doesn't win when he's on television. I mean, Marshall Holman won 22 PBA titles. I'm pretty sure Marshall Holman made like 150 shows. Marshall would be the first one to admit that he was not good on television. He had a couple, and if he was good on television, Marshall Holman may have been the all-time title leader. That's how amazing Marshall was. Sure. But like Amleto said, it could be the smallest negative thing going on in your brain that makes you think a little bit differently, you know? I mean, I went from bowling 800 virtually every single week to I've been having a stint here for like the last month where I've become very streaky. I've had some sub 600 sets, and then I'll pop out a 780, and then I'll bowl a really, really good 660. When I was shooting 800 every week, everything was just flowing naturally. I wasn't grabbing at the bottom. I wasn't aiming. I was just flat out bowling. And I think right now what we're starting to see is EJ's been winning so often that it's like, maybe there's like one little demon he's got to boot out of the brain and remember who the hell he is, if there's anything to say about it. But that's kind of my take.
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. The reason I chose the name for the podcast is because you're right. It is. We expect EJ to win, but I had seen a meme on Sleep the Rat group, which caught my eye this morning. Which I'm like, that's great.
That's fucking funny.
That's fucking hilarious. Like, so I borrowed that from their group.
But their picture is good too. Even the picture of him, this somber, glum look on his face. Oh man,
like, oh Jesus. So
we'll never get him into the show now. Thanks, Rob.
Whoever did that was that's fantastic. But no, I mean, do you think it's gonna get in his head? I mean, like, you never know what it could do to somebody if you're losing like 5-6 straight, TV shows when you're expected to win.
Honestly, no, I don't at this point. One of the biggest losing streaks in my recollection in PBA history was Parker Bone. Parker Bone hit a stint where I think he made like 12 or 13 shows in a row and averaged about 230 in those matches aggregately and lost every single one of them. Like it's not only necessarily and look, Parker's got 35, 36 titles. EJ, I don't even know how old EJ is. At the latest is early 30s. And he's already got like 20-something, 25 titles. He's already got more titles than Marshall Holman.
And 6 majors, I think he's got, or maybe I'm making that up.
I know he's got a bunch. I don't know if he's got all 6. I'm not 1,000% sure if he's got the Triple Crown. I know for a fact he's got 2 U.S. Opens.
He might not have the Triple Crown. He just might have that many majors that he.
Well, I know he's got the World Championship and the U.S. Open. I'm pretty sure he won the TSC also. But he's on pace to beat Walter Ray in career titles. I mean, think about it. Walter Ray won his 47th title at age 48? And so, like, in the next 16 years, you don't think EJ is going to win another 20-something times if he keeps bowling the way he's bowling?
Oh, for sure. No, for sure.
He's going to be another one of the guys that you mention in the all-time greats when you bring up names like Anthony, Dick and Pete Weber, Roth. When you're bringing up names like that, he's already in that conversation, And
let's just think about this: out of all the games he bowled, he made the TV finals for everyone. And then, again, maybe a bad ball selection, maybe the lane change. Like he's thrown one errant shot, which looks errant on television because he left a split. Maybe it wasn't errant because I remember him even going, "I can't believe it dove in like that." He's not even expecting it. one shot per tournament. So I wouldn't exactly say the losing streak is the guy that didn't make television, I feel like.
Well, let's kind of dig into it here. He the first loss recently was the Mike Albee PBA Nevada Classic.
Oh, I didn't see that. I kept thinking you were spoiling the freaking show somehow.
No. I'm not going to spoil the show for anybody that hasn't seen it yet. Andrew Anderson, friend of the show, defeated him 237 to 181. So, okay. Let's just say he had a bad day.
Didn't he just throw freaking Andrew Anderson his cake just a couple weeks prior in the finals in the other tournament? Didn't he win a tournament just like a week or two before the little break there, I think. I think Anderson had the 1 seed and Tackett ran the ladder. He didn't run. I don't even know what run the ladder means.
Nico, our resident statistician, I need you to look that up.
Yeah, I think it was the tournament prior or 2 tournaments prior, but EJ definitely beat Anderson in the maybe it wasn't. No, it was the finals because Anderson was the number 1 seed.
I think that you're confusing that. I know for a fact that EJ beat Andrew Anderson, and I believe the opening match of at a World Series event, that was the show that he ran the ladder till the title match and loses to Darren Ong.
No, this was maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago. Is that?
Oh,
possible?
You're going. Yeah, yeah, shit. I can't remember.
I was just going by. It was just a matter of them matching up again. So yeah, Anderson beat him, but still he smoked Anderson and beat him pretty handedly.
Yeah,
before his supposed losing streak started.
The thing that I'm noticing that's and this is always a trend at seemingly every single World Series, especially in the pattern era. When you hold this many events in one venue, first off, the qualifying and the route to the telecast is always going to yield bowlers you've never seen or heard of before.
Good job.
Well, first of all, they're coming from everywhere to good job, Chuck. I forgot about that. Not only are they coming from other countries, so we don't actually know them per se, unless we've traveled abroad and bowled against them. But like you see guys like Ethan Fiore, you see guys like Rasmus Edvall, you see guys that are typically not going to make it that far in most PBA events just based off statistics. But then the other thing that you see is you see the same players being successful on every single pattern and the same players struggling on every single pattern. Like I'm watching Tim Foy, and I know that Tim Foy's on the World Championship show. Like, obviously, Tim had a great World Series. Tim's been having a great year. But there's other players. It's when you have this many events, with that short a span of time between putting out the different oil patterns, eventually what's going to happen is some bowlers are just going to find it. And it's one thing I really don't like about the World Series. I don't like the shorter formats. I don't like that they cramp everything in. And I really don't like the idea that it's all taking place in one building. Because if you're struggling on the first day, the mental impact it has on you for the rest of that tournament, if your ball does not go through the pins the right way in that building,
true,
your ball does not carry in a building, that is way more mentally treacherous than anything physical that could ever happen to you.
Well, yeah, and then you got to go outside.
Yeah, and then the worst part about it for them this year is they are in the literal armpit of America, in the biggest piece of shit little city in the world, in Reno.
Yep.
Like there is nothing to do in Reno except avoid violence, gamble, and hope that a random restaurant is open when you're not going to get shot.
Right.
That's literally Ocho's 3 commandments.
PD says 23 days in Reno. He's trained.
Oh, God bless you, man. I have no idea how you guys do it. I go out to Reno.
Circus, man. That's all.
I keep my trip as short as humanly possible. Just get me out of there, man. Now
go to the noodle bar every once in a while.
That's fine.
Go down to the noodle bar in the place next to Reno, and they got the they actually serve you fun noodles, and they might even be connected to the mob in there somewhere. You'll have fun.
Johnny, where else could you host a month-long event and still have some kind of entertainment or something to do outside of a bowling center?
Well, let's put it to you this way, Rob. They build a stadium in places like Syracuse, New York, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and host a 6-month-long tournament that houses 75,000 teams. The USBC does that.
Yeah.
And if they really gave any shits about the PBA whatsoever, I'm sure they could figure out any place to put lanes like that.
True. That's a good point.
Not Reno.
The other place
we go.
That's why Vegas's South Point Plaza was built. It was built to not have to ruin the steady. First of all, in the bottom of the barrel place in any Las Vegas casino is the bowling center. They don't give the bowling alleys do not make them money in Vegas compared to the slot machines and the bars. It does not happen.
Sure.
So the fact that South Point was the first place to say, you know what, we're actually going to cater to the league bowlers. We're going to build this entire separate facility so we don't screw with the actual paying customers, league bowlers, open bowlers for 30 some odd days while we conduct this event. I would have to really, I understand what you're saying. Whereas like even a place like Bolero, North Brunswick that has 82 lanes or has the capacity, they wouldn't want to tell the league bowlers, hey, for the month of, March, you guys are off for 4 straight weeks because the pros are coming here.
Right. Not only that, but you need something to do outside of the venue. And like Syracuse is great, but what's there to do in upstate New York? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I guess that's basically true of any city.
You might have you got families coming too, like, and families coming to watch too. You got people coming to watch them too. So you're going to have to do something if you're there for a couple weeks or 3 weeks or a month. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing, Rob. In Vegas and Reno especially. In Reno, there really are only a few things you can do. You can eat food, you can gamble, you can drink alcohol, you can sing karaoke, you could see a really, really crappy comedy show, and that's really all you can do in Reno.
That's it. Okay.
If you
I've never been there.
If you want to drive 45 minutes to Lake Tahoe, you can, and spend a couple dollars. You can go skiing and you can have beautiful scenery, but I don't want to fucking stare at half snow-covered mountains for 30 straight days either.
Right.
And they know that the only other thing I can go do is something that's going to cost me a shit ton more money than if I were in a place like Syracuse, where I was like, okay, let's travel to the best place for buffalo wings. It can't be too far from Syracuse. Like, there's never really a lot to do in any city that you're in. Maybe catch it. That's one thing that Reno does offer. You could go watch a baseball game, a AAA baseball game. You could go see, but you have to be there during season time. Like, I guess in general, what I'm trying to say is I agree with you that it's got to be hard to host it in other places that don't have centers specifically designed for this kind of duration of a tournament.
Yeah,
it is definitely difficult, but it sucks that the only places people can go are two places that you're going to lose your money no matter what.
True.
The average person that walks into a casino, and again, this is 12 years of living in Vegas, 20 some odd years of being a gambling addict. So I got all my shit straight when I say this. The average person on any day that walks into a casino loses $56 the second they walk in the door.
Right.
The average person. So over a span of 30 days, if I have to walk from the Silver Legacy, which is literally across the street from the National Stadium, when I leave the Silver Legacy and then I come back after my night of bowling, it's an extra let's just call it $50 minimum a day for 30 days.
Yeah.
That's $1,500 extra dollars. Not to mention, hopefully I got a prorated room for being there for 30 days. And now I got to not only feed myself once, twice, but 3 times a day minimum. If I want a couple nights of entertainment to go out for drinks, like you need a shit ton of money to be in, or a shit ton of discipline to be in cities like that or Las Vegas and not lose your head while trying to do your job.
For sure. No, you're right. Now let me
have your Netflix account downloaded because you'll be in the room watching Cobra Kai 45 times.
To tell you exactly, and to tell you, Robbie, before you ask me that question, that is one of the most impressive things to me about the guys on tour. That is the most impressive thing to me about guys like Belmo or Parker or EJ or Simo.
Nowadays,
they have all figured out a way to migrate through all the other shit other than bowling. That's the stuff. And like our friend Frank here says, unfortunately, bowling, drinking, and gambling have always kind of gone hand in hand. This newer generation is not so much. They're a lot more into health, fitness. They stay away from booze, most of them, which thank God most of them learned from the previous guys. But
I do.
Yeah, exactly. So what were you going to ask me, Rob? Good.
I don't know what the cost would be, but obviously in the past, at least for TV shows, they've had 2 constructed lanes at a convention center or a civic center. Given if you limit the amount of entries, could they put lanes in, say, Nashville Convention Center where there's a shit ton of things to do? Is it not cost effective if they were to make their own house, for a month?
I don't think it would be cost effective simply because, well, here's a couple different reasons to answer that. Number one, if you build a venue like that, where's your revenue? There is no revenue.
Charge tickets for the fans to come in and watch during the week.
And here's the other problem.
That's what they used to do.
Yeah, but they don't charge for tickets anymore.
Yeah.
And people are not used to paying to go watch PBA events now.
Wow, I didn't know that.
At least to my knowledge. If they're still trying to charge you for TV show tickets, I don't know. I haven't been out there in quite some time.
I used to get so jacked up that I'd get in for free by Gary Shea. Yeah, so now that's all for naught now. Damn it.
I used to love walking upstairs, and Jean Bone, Parker's mom, would be working the front door, and she would stand up, come out from behind her table, give me a hug, and I would get my family pass. I felt like it's such a hot shot back then because I knew it. And back then, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people would come through the turnstiles, especially at Carolier. It was it was the place to be in the early 90s to early 2000s. But I think I don't think it would be cost efficient for them to build the amount of money it would cost to build the venue and the amount of purse that has to be put up and the lack of sponsorship. It's not like the USBC tournament where every single player that's there is buying photographs. They have the mom and pop setup shops that have to pay certain X amount of dollars for the space. They have to pay certain commissions for the products they sell. The ball companies that are there that are charging every single person that walks in $80 to drill a new ball. Of like that, the food, the drinks, the barmaid that's selling you the $16 fucking Topo Chico fucking mixed beer shit, whatever the hell it is. $16 for a Coors Light tall boy. Are you out of your mind?
Right.
But that's at least that, and then that's all. It's the same as paying for a $7 hot dog at Yankee Stadium.
Well, the only thing I could say to that is, like obviously not as big as the Super Bowl, but I mean, we can kind of use maybe wrestling as an example. When SummerSlam came to Nashville, the city paid them to go to Nissan Stadium because they knew how many people it would bring into the city, and they would generate revenue from all the people going around to the bars and the stores and the shops and the restaurants and all that. If a city were to host the World Series and they know they're going to be there for a month, and let's just say Tom Clark or Bolero could say, all right, we're going to bring this many people into the city. Can you subsidize us? That could be something they could work on if bowling was popular enough.
That was the gist in Reno. That was the whole idea of Reno. Was bringing in those 70,000 teams every single year to bring productivity to the city of Reno. The National Bowling Stadium used to be heavily, heavily, heavily tied in with Circus Eldorado, Silver Legacy. I mean, go back to like the movie Kingpin. Everybody laughs about it, but when the guy's talking at the beginning of the tournament about the whopping 22 topping potato bar and all that shit like that, that's literally the way it was in Reno. That was the connection they had. You would get comps, you would get booklets of just coupons and discounted items for your entire stay there. And the amount of people that would be in Reno to bowl would make those casinos a lot of extra money. So, of course, it was a great idea to build a bowling stadium where you're going to have 75,000 extra teams of 5 coming in over the course of half of your year out there.
Right.
It was a brilliant idea. Unfortunately, Reno is, first off, insanely expensive to get to. I don't know if guys have ever searched tickets for Reno. I'm sure everybody here has bowled there at least once. Flying to Reno is a bitch. I mean, I used to drive from Vegas to Reno because it was only about a 7.5 hour drive. So I had no problem. But I think about like Stephanie flying from Philadelphia or Scranton even. It's $700, $800 every single time you want to fly to Reno.
Right.
Every single time.
And there's no direct flights either half the times. Like, you just can't get there.
Any direct flights. So not only is there no direct flights and it costs you an arm and a leg, now most people are going out there with 2 triple bags and a suitcase. So if you're going on any airline, it's basically, your first bag's going to be around 50 pounds. We'll let you slide. Okay, but your second bag is $35. Your third bag is $60. Like and then you got to do it on the way back also. Then you got to save up bracket money, and all for what? To go to Reno.
Right. Yeah.
To go to Reno, dude. God.
That's why I wish there was a way to go to a destination city like a Nashville or Atlanta, or, well, maybe not Atlanta, but you know what I mean. And maybe one day the sport will be popular again where they could do that. But I mean, you're right. There's only so many places that could handle that kind of volume and be able to stay there for a month. And it's unfortunate, but let's get back on to recent events here. We got some new winners, which is kind of cool, right? It's the World Series. This is literally what vision Tom Clark had, and he even mentioned it when he was on the show. He wanted, since they're getting snubbed by the Olympics, well, he wanted the World Series of Bowling to be the pinnacle event for people to come from all over the world in bowl in one tournament. And we saw that in the Scorpion when we had two bowlers from across the world in the title match, Rasmus Edval and Rafiq Ismail from Sweden and Malaysia. And Rasmus won his first PBA title. That's what it's all about, Johnny.
Oh, sure. And again, I go both ways here. I've never won a PBA title, and if and when I ever do, I don't really care how I win it. I will still call myself a champion.
Sure.
But the other side of me, the historian side, and the hours and time that I've watched the sports elite put in throughout the course of 42 games a week in a tour of 18 cities nonstop with no breaks, I don't like the idea that somebody could step on a pair of lanes or into a building and bowl 12 games and have the nuts for 12 games and get by a couple matches and make television. I don't like, first of all, 12 games is not enough games to measure who the best bowler of the week is. It measures who has the best look for 2 days. That's 100% honesty. That's how I feel. If you feel differently, you can throw your comments in there before the title match starts here.
Well, I mean, that's the problem of trying to get 5 titles in 4 weeks.
Yeah, and
between the 4 patterns and the World Championship, I mean, that's what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like have more squads, have 3 squads during a day. Like it's, I get what you're saying.
You need to hold down the fort a second. I got to grab a charger. My MacBook is about to die. Hang on.
That's fair. Would you agree with that, Oach? Like, Johnny, what Johnny's saying is right. I mean, anybody.
I did miss the last part. I had to run in real quick because Gabriella was going.
Anybody can go on a streak and bowl 12 games and make TV, but when they're trying to squeak in 5 titles during the 4 weeks,
it dilutes it a bit. Well, again, you're. I still feel like the cream rises to the top, though.
True.
But you might not be getting a true test because again, you're diluting it a tad,
right?
By not having the full qualifiers and all that. And I mean, although, do we really see somebody that isn't worthy of it? Like, let's be honest.
Well, I mean,
I have a flyer on the deck. Hang on.
We have 2 brand new champions that came from across the world. So, I mean,
who haven't bowled over here though, right? Like, wasn't that the thing?
I'm not familiar with who they are. Darren Ong is actually, I think he bowls over here a lot, but I've never heard of Tun Amirul Al Hakim from Malaysia, who beat Kevin McCune for the Chameleon. Sorry, I probably butchered your name there, brother. But
so honestly, the way they painted it on television is that because they don't bowl here too often, that's why we don't know of them.
And that's the thing is it's also the new breed of guys. These are the young guys. Like, it's not like when I was in my 20s and guys like Belmo and Osku would come from overseas that everybody already knew. Guys like Mika Koivunyemi, they knew him from the Hoinky and the High Rollers.
Right.
You knew all the international stars in your age bracket. So guys like Darren Ong, they may be guys that are the pinnacle of overseas that are coming over here now. But like, we've seen international players have success at the World Series since its inception.
Right.
We saw guys like Kimmo Lehtinen from Finland make TV and win. We saw guys like, a couple of the guys from Chinese Taipei that made the show. We saw Fawaz Abdallah of Bahrain make a show. But these are all, again, in the short format tournaments. These are not lengthy Chris Barnes, Parker Bone, Pete Weber, Walter Ray type tournaments. These are short sprints.
Sure. Right.
And then
And maybe that's the good flavor to do, because if they're all long, I don't know. That's you know what?
It's
I'd have to debate that one, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm talking myself out of it already, honestly.
No, but like I'm with you, Och. And again, it's tricky because for those exact reasons, it's tricky me. There is no comparison between a short format player and a long format player. Compare it to poker. There's guys who play nothing but cash games.
Sure.
Nothing. They'll play nothing but cash games because they buy in for a certain amount. The blinds are a certain amount. The ante is a certain amount. You can literally sit there for 8 hours and only bet premium hands. Even if you're only making $80, $90, $100 an hour, if you sit there for 8 hours, you're making $800 a day, right?
Right.
And then there's players who never play cash games and they only play in tournaments. They play in all-in tournaments, Hold'em, 7 stud, 5 stud. They are terrific tournament players. It's very, very, very rare to find players that are good tournament players at a poker table and good cash game players.
Yep.
And the only ones anybody really knows about are the guys that are, like Phil Hellmuth, Daniel Negreanu, Doyle Brunson, Phil Ivey, just to name a couple, Johnny Chan. And the reason you know who those players are is because of how good they are in both atmospheres. EJ and Belmo are prime examples of that. They're good at short stints and they're good in long format tournaments. They're good
on every pattern too.
They're good on every single pattern. And that's the guys that are there every single week. And the more games you bowl, those are going to be the guys you see at the end of the week.
But this also goes to what I always said, and we even talked about it. You know, in a golf tournament, if you have a 12-stroke lead going into the final round, you have a 12-stroke lead. You don't reset it and play one hole matches.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what bowling. On a
you're
small
right.
scale,
you're right.
It kind of, but it's still riveting television. You can't have a guy with a 300 pin lead bowling, a round robin and say, "Here's the guys." You know what I mean? It's not. No one would watch that. So I understand why they did it, but it's a nasty reset in motocross. If you could have a 12-second lead with 3 laps to go. A 12-second lead is pretty much insurmountable, unless you're Ocho. And if there's a wreck where like the medics have to come out, they have to do a restart. They don't reset you at the line. They do a staggered restart, not 12-second restart. So whoever's ahead by 12 seconds now has a half a tire bike length at the start. So they all line up right next to each other, single file, and they pin it as soon as so it's a little sour grapes. That's also different because it's an anomaly. But again, it's still, should that be right? Shouldn't the guy get his 12-second lead back?
This is a conversation that we could literally go back and forth.
There's no right answer or wrong answer.
With whoever agrees or disagrees on either side, and both sides will have 100% valid points the entire discussion.
And there's no way to correct it.
No, there's really not. So in other words, it's like, if I was a newcomer on tour, I'll give you a prime example at the amateur level. One of the best bowlers out here in short format tournaments is Quentin Collins. Every time I go bowl a tournament that it's 3 games of qualifying, I'm already basically, I don't want to say dead, but I'm at a disadvantage because I am typically a guy that keeps it close the first game. Like I'm trying harder almost to bowl 9-pin no tap and at least bowl 2-0.
You want to get your feet wet first,
rather than possibly bowling 140 and then being dead
you don't want to lose it in the first game. Right. You want to stay there and be in play.
And there's other people that go out game 1 and 9 times out of 10 they have a 10-bagger. And it's automatically I'm like, shit, I bowled a really, really good 220 and I'm 60 pins behind the leader and now I only got 2 games left. I don't like that. I would rather go and bowl 210, 215, 2-0, 2-0, and know that I have 4 more games in the block so I could bowl 250, 260, 250, 260. And then once my feet are wet, okay, now how do I turn those 210s into 230s in the early going and the 250s into 270s at the tail end, or vice versa, whatever the lane's given me. I prefer that. I prefer longer length tournaments for that exact reason, because that's the kind of player I am. That's why I was never good in high rollers. I was never good at the hoinky. I was never good at the true amateur tournament. I was never really a good eliminator player.
The problem for TV is that even if they did a best 2 out of 3 now, does the viewer hang on for that? Because it's a lot. Because they now it's commercials. Now it's they make a 1-game match about 30 something minutes. Or maybe 25 minutes. So it's it's if they have to have commercials or else there's no money. So they lose there, but that also at least makes it. I don't know. You have to almost change the cult. First of all, you can't change the culture of a Stepladder Finals, which not that you should anyway, because it is great theater. It's just
here's what
Marshall Holman again. I bet you Marshall Holman would say, "Man, if we did 2 out of 3, I'd be loving life."
Good to see you, buddy. I hope everything is good.
Like, wasn't you were mentioning him before, right?
To feed off what you just said, Ocho. Here's the other huge problem. This was like Dad actually brought this up to me when I was younger, and I never forgot it. When you turn on golf, you get to watch golf on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I've been saying that for years. Yes.
Okay, for approximately 4 hours a day minimum, you get to watch. And somebody like Tiger Woods now, for those 4 hours on each day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he's on that camera for at least 3 of them. Or at least 2.5 solid. You get at least 8 to 9 hours.
Even if he's in the morning freaking round, they're going to do every shot he took.
And nowadays, it's more so like when you see Rory or Scheffler, right? Now, I want you to imagine it. Like, let's take Scotty Scheffler last year at the Players or whatever tournament he astronomically won by like 8 or 9 strokes. And he leads the tournament after 4 rounds. And then they take the top 5 on day 5 on a Monday. And 5 plays the 4 seed on 1 hole. And
that's what I was saying.
Right. It's you would never see it in golf because there's enough airtime. In bowling, if you're the number 5 seed and you lose the match, you have approximately 18 minutes of airtime. Nobody has any clue what you did on how to get there or anything like that. So they had to implement this simply because we don't have the time slot or the revenue
I get it.
or the sponsorships to display what they're doing for 4 straight days.
It's the best way they could. It's just
not unfortunate
the best way they could. That's all I can. No, I don't want to. It's not the best way. It's just not.
It's the best way they could, and it's unfortunately unfair to certain players each week.
Yes. Like, I got that. I almost feel like I kept trying. I had this in the back of my head 10 guests ago to ask them, what seed would you prefer? The number 1, I feel like 1, 2, or 3 are probably the most advantageous. But I don't know how 1 is.
I've always thought about this too. Obviously anybody subconsciously craves to be the tournament leader because you got 1 game to win the top.
In a wrestling tournament, it's great because you got fishes half the way, and then you got to freaking then finally wrestle.
But anybody that's also ever bowled, your first few frames of your first game, whether it's a tournament, league, a TV show, your legs are a little bit jittery. And I'm not saying that like jittery to a point that you feel like, oh my God, I'm not even going to be able to get the ball off my hand. I'm so nervous like at league. But you certainly get your legs a little bit more under you when you see your ball react the way you expect it to. And when I think about it, I'm like, man, I would actually probably like to qualify second because if I make it past the semifinal match, I'm not only going into the title match with all the momentum and all the confidence, the tournament leader is bowling on a pattern that's completely been shredded by the 4 other guys that are bowling on it.
And how many throws does he get also? That's the other thing I don't really know.
How
many throws does he get? Like 5 or 6 maybe? Or like
I believe they get an hour prior.
No, on the lanes that they bowl.
I'm not sure now how many shots they get prior to their match.
Because they get them in between games, I think, too, sometimes maybe, or
but only the next guy coming in can practice on the pair. Like
God, right, and again, it's probably different from what it's going to be
exactly
that game prior to.
I'm going to have to eat my words after this.
And obviously, I'm going to say if there's less people in the chat right now for anybody that is watching bowling, and if you're not, turn on FS1 because it's a pretty exciting first 6 frames.
God damn it.
I feel bad for Smalls because EJ messengers 2 10s and Smalls buries it and leaves a fucking stone cold 10.
I thought we don't say fuck anymore, Rob.
Well, this called for it because I feel bad. Well,
what do you do? He left the stone.
That's 3 messengers. What the fuck? I wish I had 580 revs to fucking carry every 10 pin.
Why are you so fucking EJ hating? It's got to be about EJ, obviously.
No, he's actually not.
I don't dislike him. No,
Oh.
I don't dislike.
For those of you that are in front of a television, turn on FS1. We may actually be here for a little small part of history.
This could be when like the Ultimate Fighter like literally got all its ratings when Bonner and friggin' Forrest Griffin fought in that the Tough One final.
Oh my god,
dude! And I have the TV on.
Georgia.
Now, obviously, JP knows my house. I got. Oh my god,
Georgia,
dude,
it's
you look
Lens.
like
See you
Troy
tomorrow.
What's going on, Troy? Oh, this game's over.
Johnny knows my crib pretty well, and where he sometimes likes to.
Can I change the title of the stream?
That's where my TV is, and I'm outside by the chimney enjoying the nature and thinking we're gonna do an outdoorsy show about survival. That's my own fault. I thought we were talking about the Big Ten tournament. When Rob said tournament talk, I thought we were talking about the wrestling finals of the Big Ten.
No.
Well, shit, that was last Saturday, man. How did nobody see that?
Okay, I changed the title of the stream to World Series 2025.
Good idea.
That's good.
And you know, like
Eagle Stevenson made Greg Kerfleet look like an amateur. He beat him 12-3 or 10-3. My God.
What's up, Troy Lynn?
This just goes to show you exactly what we were talking about on the top of the show. This is not EJ like the old. This is not the young EJ. This is like pissed off EJ. Like he expected to win every single event that he made the show on, and now he's just flat out pissed. So he's compared it differently than he used to now.
They did this thing. I think it was last night. Who's the most intimidating bowler? And like hands down, it was EJ. Belmo said, I think it was me for a while, but now it's EJ. And everybody said EJ. And EJ, Pressler was like, would you believe they said you? And he's like, I'd be surprised. Like, I don't know. Like,
I
she's
do.
like, well, they just don't want to bowl you. And he's like, well, I guess that's good. I guess that's a good thing.
Oh, well, there goes that.
Shit. Well, are we? So we're not spoiling? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck at this point.
No,
EJ,
but I mean,
gets
I don't care if you spoil it for me. I just don't know if you don't want to spoil it for. I still got my Kim Carnes voice gone. So if anybody wants to hear Betty Davis eyes, you just let me know and I will crank that shit out.
EJ sprayed it left to 7 pins, so there goes the 300. But he's going to win the tournament. So
know just what it takes to make it closer.
Congratulations to EJ Tackett for being the WSOB Shark champion because it's over.
So there you go.
So we got the World Championship, next week? So he still has a chance to win 2 in a row. Oh, bye, Johnny. Love you. See you later, buddy.
She's got Betty Davis.
You couldn't take your fucking sing, if you call that singing, you're screeching. So
dude, I crushed it.
No, you did pretty well, actually.
I literally crushed it. There's only one time a year you can sing Kim Carnes. It's when you got a sore throat.
That's
when I was in college.
That's fair.
So when I was in grad school, I used to always scream at the television or at the bar, like about the Steeler games. And I'd come in with a raspy voice. And my friend would say, you have the full douche going. The Danny Bonaducci always had that.
Danny Bonaducci,
so
wow.
He's like, oh, man, you were at the bar yesterday, huh? I was like, yeah, Steelers lost. He's like, you got full douche going.
Douche. That's good stuff. All right, well, we got, let's see, we got 9 minutes left. Ocho, how you doing in the league there at Howell Lanes?
I'm not good.
Oh, we know
good.
that, but
I'm not bad. No, I'm lined up. I'm just not good. I'm catching. I'm EJ. I'm hitting a split. I'm strike, split, 3 strikes, split, 3 strikes, split. Does that even count? I don't know how many that is. I shot like a 560 something this week. But all right, so in the 10th frame, I went 9 spare, and we were down by 9.
Yeah.
First of all, fuck him. We were down by 9.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, I needed to bury one to win, and I did. And it's because I don't know how to keep score, it kind of fucks me up. I wish I did know how to. I know how to.
Are you serious?
Now,
like
and I
after
knew
all
I needed
these
a strike
years,
there.
you have to know.
No, I don't. Once if you have like 3 in a row, I get lost. I don't. But in the 10th frame, I know. If I see what the fill ball in the 9th is, then I definitely know. You get 30 total.
Right, 3 in a row is 30, but yeah, you keep a running total every strike.
Anyway, no, that was the only good thing about it. But I was lined up. and I threw it good. It was awful. It's just so bad. But this is right about when I start getting usually
back.
just before daylight savings. I start popping off 7s. I've only got 3 7s this whole year.
No 6s,
So
right?
I'm a struggling mo. My average is I think 8 pins lower than last year right now.
Are you guys getting any?
And they only do a 10-pin drop off.
You guys got any snow up there this weekend? I heard there's a storm coming, a brewing.
No, it's been fucking beautiful here. You kidding me?
Better not be any fucking snow.
I see your breast,
dude. I got my pruner out. I was cutting branches down the last few days, man. That's what I'm burning right now.
Is that your breath, or is that the smoke from the fire?
Pretty sure that's the smoke from the fire. It's only about 45, 46 degrees here right now, but
that's shorts weather.
But it's been nice here. I don't think we're gonna have any more snow. If we do, at least it's probably gonna be the last ditch effort before the nice weather finally gets back.
I think it was hitting the Midwest, but I wasn't sure which direction it was going in. But it's supposed to be a winter storm in March in the Midwest, and they're not happy about it.
That wasn't uncommon here. It's just the last couple of years it's been unusually warm in March.
Yeah,
I think for quarantine lady's birthday, which is Friday. Send all your gifts to my PayPal.
I'm just going to throw this up here with no audio real quick just so we can see the end of the tournament here. Courtesy of YouTube TV-ish.
Oh, man, good for Smallwood. Wasn't he the 5th seed or the 4th seed? Either way,
he was seeded.
Is that called running the ladder?
I don't remember.
Smalls definitely had a nice tournament, that's for sure. I know he beat Tim Foy in the I want to say in match 2, he beat Tim Foy, or no, I don't even know. I didn't.
So
that's right. He beat Tim Foy and Packy Hanrahan in the semifinal. I'm not sure if he was in the first match, but if he was, shit.
By the way, how good was Packy on commentary last night?
Really good.
Yeah,
really good.
I thought he did. I heard the voice and I said, "Boy, it sounds familiar." But my God, he was so articulate. He was, he was shit talk. He talked so clear, like almost unintentionally dumbing it down a little bit too, because he would explain what he would do and what they would do. And I said, "My God, I think I just from the house bowling, I think is what it is."
Packy,
yeah, that's my. I just saw the smoke. That's me.
Well, Packy comes from a really, really good pedigree too. He's
true.
He comes from a very well known rich area in Greenwich, Connecticut. So he had a good.
Well, his dad was also the goalie in Slapshot
Greenwich, Connecticut.
When Reggie Dunlop told him his wife was a lesbian. Remember Hanrahan and fucking attacked him?
And also I
remember that.
He grew up with guys like Chris Forey at Buddy's Pro Shop in the Norwich, Connecticut area. And he always was very, very partial to the older players too. And I know for a fact that he listened to Bo Burton commentate a lot. And a lot of the guys that speak like Packy have the way of explaining things that Bo Burton did.
The acumen. But that's funny though, because on his channel he's almost stop and go, because I don't know, it's a YouTube show. He's not
I think he's gotten some polish from the YouTube show the last
I'm sure just but I mean, dude, he was astoundingly good. Like, I used to want to be a broadcaster when I was young, and I knew I had every Kurt Gowdy freaking video, and Warner Wolf, and freaking Chris Schenkel, especially the voice of God, my stars. And I was so enamored with broadcasting that I realized there's no money unless you're one of the top dogs. I said, fuck it.
True. No, that's fair.
Anyway, but the guy that's his next step.
No, he's
got it.
He's really, I mean, us native Connecticutonians are pretty good at broadcasting.
Yeah, so you guys should he should have been playing tennis, is what you're saying. Like, you should have been out there going, "Oh, mommy, why don't we have this little match here while this guy gets caca off his mouth?"
Connecticutites.
There you go. I like that.
San Diegans.
San Diego wins.
Keep it classy. He's
San Diego.
Whale's vagina.
Fairfield. Oh, okay. Fairfield.
Oh yeah, Fairfield, not Norwich. I think Norwich
It's a small state.
I'm probably thinking about Frank Pepe Pizzeria. I think that's closer to Norwich.
Well, that makes sense.
Norwich-ish.
Or was it rated on the One Bite app?
Yeah. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it right now. Fuck New Haven style pizza. I don't care about Portnoy. It's his favorite.
Oh,
pizza.
New Haven. That's it. That's where it is, right?
Yeah. Portnoy is an idiot. Even though he's from Boston, I love Barstool, but fuck him.
Not gonna lie.
Nobody wants burnt pizza, bro.
I have never, ever had pizza better than the original Frank Pepe in Connecticut.
I lived there for my whole life,
and I'm a New Yorker / New Jerseyan, and that's.
So Rob, you're mad at the guy because he doesn't like the flat. I don't like the crisp either. I get it. I like just a pizza where everything is all one. I don't need a crispy pizza. I don't think that's good. But is that what you're mad at him for?
That's what I'm mad at him for. Yeah, the fucking coal-fired burnt pizza. It's fucking burnt.
Yeah, that's his deal. He always looks under it and goes, "Oh yeah, you hear that crisp?" I'm not a crisp.
Yeah, but you know what?
I like New York pizza. That's me.
To me, pizza is either good or great.
You know what's funny? You say that I've had bad pizza recently.
Really?
And I was like,
there is a such thing.
This is terrible.
There's DiGiorno style.
In our
I like DiGiorno.
I've made a Red Baron that was better than this.
You don't like Domino's, really?
I like Domino's. I like Red Baron French bread pizza.
Domino's.
I like.
Red Baron I think is great. That's what I'm saying. I had a Red Baron that was better than what this one pizza joint was.
Wawa pizza sucks, but their turkey bowls are fantastic.
Red Baron is better than a lot of pizza. Red Baron is.
I totally agree.
It's true.
Pizza.
It is true.
I totally agree. But I also halfway through I put my own little mozzarella on it there. I get it ready.
My dad would put American cheese on top of his Red Baron.
Well, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's just fucking stupid. Edit that out.
Look, if you've ever had a true Philly cheesesteak slice with yellow American and steak thrown
stupid.
on the mozzarella, it's
not pizza.
No, it's true.
Still fantastic.
It's true.
The Domino's back in the 80s, for people who know, had the most unique taste. It was wonderful. It was
Ghost Hunters is from Rhode Island,
good.
Dan.
It was so good, and then they tried to replicate. We'd still get it every once in a while when we're smacked up at 1 a.m.
You know what really sucks now is Pizza Hut. Not the same Pizza Hut that we grew up with.
Same thing, man. In the 80s, Pizza Hut was the shit.
It was. It's horrible.
Man, I got to stoke the fire.
Absolutely horrible. Anyways, somebody asked me how my health journey was. Alex, going well. Still do. I'm actually, I fluctuate. I'm in a holding pattern weight.
Nowhere closer to finding his neck, though.
No, still can't find my neck, but I am down a shirt size. I'm into 4X now from 5X, so that's a win. That's an absolute win. And
you were a 5X.
I was, yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, I'm tall. I'm lank. It's the big and tall shit. I'm so tall. I got to get shirts that are long enough to cover the fucking belly.
No, because that's funny. Because I got to get sometimes an XL or 2X, and it looks like a dress on me because it's all big in the wrong areas, and it should be.
I have to go to big and tall stores and get that shit. But anyway, no, it's going well. I went to the gym today. Got a fantastic pump on. I'm getting stronger every time.
We went to Gymboree today and did the parachute thing, where they all go under it. And
I'm getting nuts. I
went down the slide twice.
Shut the fuck up, Coach. I'm trying to talk. No, I'm getting.
You said I went to gym today.
I'm. All right, that's fair. I'm getting stronger every time I go in, so that's good. It's good.
He finally opened the door.
I'm able to pump longer. I'm able to hit heavier weights every time I go. So
reach down to the bottom shelf in the fridge.
Yep,
that's right. That's where the carbo drinks are.
I can tie my shoes now without having to sit down. No, it's good. And between that and DDP
you
yoga,
tie your shoes standing up. That's strange.
Yeah,
I leave mine
leaning down, or do you hoist your leg up on the laundry hamper?
Either one.
That's me.
Okay.
I just leave them tied.
Well, Butch, I know you can't. I don't even know how you.
I got my own problems, man.
Ocho's only 4'9", so he
Ocho's the most.
I'm 5'2".
Ocho's the most active person I know, but if you ask him to pick up a quarter on the ground that you drop,
not gonna happen.
It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen to watch.
Johnny grabbed my golf ball out of the hole every time, just for the sake of not wasting another 12 minutes.
Yeah, or you just wear Skechers. I do have Skechers without laces.
It would have put us behind pace. It would have put us behind pace for the round if I let him take his ball out of the cup.
They wouldn't even let me hole out. It was like, you know what? You're 10 feet away. Fine. You get
it. No, you're within 5 feet. You're good.
Yeah, just pick it up. Let's try something else.
Just move on. It's it's like waiting for people, like a family in miniature golf. You're just waiting, and they have 3 kids that are just hitting the ball over the place. You're like, fuck, can we just play through, please? Anyway, you get that.
They should. That's etiquette.
It is.
I didn't hit up on them. You know what? That's when you hit up on them.
All right. I don't have an imbecile.
When they're out there.
we got anything else here? Oh, you know who's an imbecile? Dan Young. He's back on the list. He trolled Bell Mogan today. What a dick. Like, come on, man. Like, kick a guy when he's down because he lost to Tim Foy. Come on.
I don't think Belmo's down. Belmo literally is trolling Stan worse than Stan trolls Belmo.
I just don't hate I don't understand the hate. I really don't, Dan. I don't.
He's probably a dickhead. I know he's in the chat. You're just probably a dickhead.
I
That's
understand
fair.
hate.
Fair.
I don't understand outspoken and unwarranted hate.
Like, unless they were like, again,
I hate a lot of things, dude. I really do.
I hate
would
pineapple
never,
on pizza.
ever call somebody out on them. I would just keep my mouth shut about it and like try and not be so petty about it.
Well, he is a troll, so I mean, there's that.
No, but like, if you mispronounce something around me, I'm gonna hammer you regardless, or like my friends or something like that, or if you say the wrong word when you mean something else.
You're a grammar Nazi? I never would have guessed.
That's a normal thing.
I never would have guessed that.
He's just a dick.
I never would have guessed that you're a grammar Nazi.
It's not that.
Or your
just
grandma
like
was a Nazi.
Ah, Christ.
Cripes.
You just don't get it.
Oh, but yes, Chuck, we do have to mention that. Unfortunately, we lost a great bowler this week. A lot of people were commenting on Facebook and all that. So, yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, cheers and rest in peace, Mark Masabi, also known as Chemo Sabi. Actually, Martha hit me up and sent me a picture. She goes, "Do you know who this is?" And I said, "That looks like Mark Masabi. That is who we're talking about right now because I can't see the comment."
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I go, "That looks like Mark Masabi, but that looks the way Mark Masabi looked 25 years ago. So he must have aged amazingly if that's him today." And then she told me the news of his passing. I believe it was stomach cancer, and only diagnosed about 3 or 4 months ago.
Yep.
But Chemo and my dad were actually made a televised doubles tournament together in I believe the 2000 or 2001 at the Reno National Bowling Stadium, and won their first match and then lost their second match. Eventually, I believe Parker Bone III and Ron Morton went on to win that title. But Mark Masabi was always a true gentleman, great bowler, and really, really, really fun man to be around. It was very, very sad. Another person just gone way too soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a horrible, horrible way to go. Frank, thanks, buddy. Take care, buddy. Thanks for popping in. We appreciate you coming in all the way from Japan. But yeah, no, Bob Learn.
Wait, is he going off to the toilet or is he going?
Yeah, no, he's going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl. So,
all right,
yeah. But
who Frank is?
Yeah,
from Japan.
from Japan, yeah.
Where the toilet water goes the other way, I think, because they're on the other side of the world.
Is it the future in Japan right now? It's like tomorrow.
Yes.
It is.
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. He's broadcasting from the future. That's great.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
That's awesome.
We're talking to somebody tomorrow. That's great.
That is weird,
Actually, I guess we do that with Keegan in Australia also a lot.
No, that's fair. They're like 12 hours ahead. Yeah. They're literally on the other side of the world. But yeah. Anyways, we got anything else here?
No. Next week is a kind of a toss up, but I do want to leave a little some breadcrumbs here. I want to talk about the usage of Easy Slide and non-marking rubber tennis shoes or sneakers when you're bowling, because a lot of good points were brought up last night at League about both of them, and I'm really, really curious what the actual rule book says. Like this is what I'm assuming lawyers get paid the big bucks for when it comes to real life law shit. But I really, really, really want to dive into this the way a lawyer would, to try and dissect it from every single angle to figure out what's legal and what's not legal.
I like that, actually. Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
It's an unspoken thing. You have to be a certain age to buy cigarettes or alcohol.
Right.
Who would wear sneakers on the bowling alley?
It's also an unspoken agreement that if you drink and you're above the limit and you're driving, doesn't matter how fucking old you are, you're going to jail or you're going to DUI, right?
Yeah.
So why can't you? Or I mean, who wears regular sneakers? Well, I guess maybe on their foot, on their non.
Just to throw it out, to just put it in perspective, just to give you a quick glimpse. I don't want to keep you guys too long tonight, but bowlers like Jess Stayrook and Michael Haugen used to wear non-marking tennis shoes on PBA shows because it was legal in the PBA to wear non-marking rubber shoes. So
they weren't wearing bowling shoes?
No, Michael Haugen. eventually went to just wearing like the rubber soles on both sides of the bowling shoe.
No
But in
shit.
the early going, him and Jess Therick wore actual tennis shoes.
I was gonna say I used to use one sneaker on my left foot, and then my right sliding foot was.
I could see, I could see the non-slide foot being a regular sneaker, but
no,
still.
but here with the discussion was because two bowlers on my right were bowling on the same team and against a gentleman, and the two Charles is another one. What's up, buddy? I hope everything's good on the West Coast. And he brought up a good point. I'm like, the only guys I know, a lot of guys that wear sneakers. My old teammate, Mr. 900, Jimmy Schmitzer, wore Air Forces or Air Maxes every time he bowled. My roommate in college, Greg Thompson wore, and still to this day wears sneakers when he bowls. I have a lot of friends that still, my buddy Brandon Burwell, happy belated birthday, Brandon. He wears shoes, but they don't wear the same sneakers that they're wearing walking into the bowling alley. They change into another pair of bowling sneakers.
Me too. Yeah.
So like the argument here was, if it's legal in the PBA, is it officially legal to do in the USBC? And in the USBC, I completely agree that it should be legal as long as you're not walking in with the street shoes that you had on. And God forbid it's raining, or God forbid you step in like an oil slick on somebody's car or something like that.
Right.
And you screw everybody else.
Yeah.
But the guy kind of brought up a point where I'm like, I think it's kind of a gray area similar to Easy Slide, because Easy Slide, it's like an unspoken rule that if you ever put Easy Slide on the bottom of your sole, you're like the guy that drives 10 below the speed limit in the left lane. You're just a fucking asshole, right? But you can also go into any pro shop and spend $3 or $4 and buy yourself a bag of Easy Slide.
Sure.
You can walk in and dump out baby powder, and everybody will look at you like you're an asshole, but you never ever lose your points because you're using it. It's like, it's the two of those things. Putting foreign substances on is a non-marking rubber sole a foreign substance in the bowling world compared to Easy Slide?
But wouldn't Easy Slide be left behind though for someone else to walk into, or is that not really?
Yeah, like if somebody's got Easy Slide like on the monitor, and like unlike a rosin bag or like a chamois, if it falls off, now it's like, oh shit, now this Easy Slide falls off. And now, gosh forbid, I walk over and forget about it. Now I step in it and I slip and I go down the fucking lane and I fall on my face. Am I allowed to appeal that league night because of the foreign substance on somebody's foot? Is it anywhere in the rule book? So
I have, you know what? That's a good point. I have a rule to think about also. Last week in league, this literally just happened. John L. threw a strike in his first ball in the 10th, and I yelled, "There's another ball, you dummy. It's a 10th frame." And he threw his rosin bag, and it hit some guy who was drinking a beer, I don't know, and the beer exploded and went everywhere. So if somebody steps in that, what's the rule?
The rule
and
is
how did John L.
Be more careful. Be more careful when accidents happen, and get it cleaned up.
So there's no rule.
No, there's no rule on idiocy or ignorance.
And it was behind out in the the walking area. It wasn't up on the approach or anything. So
if he went up and grabbed the guy's beer and put it on the lane and then threw the rosin bag at
then
the
we got an issue.
Then there might be a problem.
You're playing beer pong with a rosin bag and a beer. Yes,
That's how I feel about your beer, sir. Then there would be a problem.
That's good stuff. I can't wait to talk about that next week, because I think a lot of people are going to be involved in that, as they already are right now. So I think that is a great topic, and I like doing stuff. We should do more stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, it only came to my attention because I've never given a shit about anybody that wears sneakers on the approach. I don't give a shit at all. But I
wouldn't know if they're sneakers or not.
I've always been skeptical of people that use any kind of baby powder, because the last thing in the world a cranker or a power player wants is an approach to be slippery.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, absolutely.
So
that's good stuff. Now, all right, we'll get into next week. I'll save my questions for next week. I don't want to spoil it. So, Ocho, what's your Twitter handle? At the Dr Ocho. Johnny is at JPJR0.
Number 1 in your hearts, number 7 in your ass, and all that
at
stuff.
JPJR07.
And to answer that question, it's only 07 because that's the year I created it.
That's fair. Okay,
yeah.
That's
my baseball number was 7, and then I wore 31, but. No.
7-minute abs.
Yeah, I need about
at Rad Rob Gaming.
6 minutes.
Follow us on X as well. You can follow the show at Straight Up 5 Podcast. You can send us an email. You know what? Hold on, let me check your email address.
Check the emails. There's one from 2018.
Now there might be one. You never
hey,
know.
Rob, I heard about your show. Can you give me some info about it? And I have a bowling ball.
You're an asshole. Straight up
Sorry
5.
we're so late to reply.
Yeah, no. Just,
hey, Rob, got your auto reply that you're on vacation. Still wondering if you can reply to that email.
Oh, hang on. They received our payment. Our order is being processed, and we'll notify when it ships. Okay. We have a lot of junk mail, apparently. That's cool. Yeah, nobody sent us any emails except from India.
Well, we don't exactly promote things too well.
At Straight Up 5 or Straight Up 5 podcast at gmail.com. That's Straight Up 5, the number 5 at gmail.com. Send us an email.
And go to Apple iTunes and leave us a 5-star review because we deserve it.
Do they still do that? Is that still a thing?
I don't know. I just got an upgrade. I don't know where my damn pictures are.
That's fair. No, if you do listen to the audio version, like if you just want to listen to us on the go or on what is Woogie? Anybody know the reference? Woogie.
Woogie is
that's
Cameron Diaz's brother
Something About
in Something About Mary.
Something About Mary. That's 7-minute ads.
You got okay. This is a smart crowd. Let me tell you, this is a very smart crowd. You guys know a lot of shit. Anyway, all right, guys, we'll be back next week talking about Easy Slide and rosin bags and
Rob's bag.
Rob's.
Where his neck is.
I got nothing. One of these days, I swear to God, maybe I'll get a neck off of Temu.
One of these days, I'm gonna have a neck. I'll show you.
You keep going, you'll find it.
Thanks, Johnny. I will. I'll find
You're welcome.
Points. And then we don't have to look anymore. We'll still be looking for EJ.
I'm hitting the outro. Right. Guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate your support. We will see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to this edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. You can follow the show on Twitter at Straight Up 5 Pod. Follow Johnny Jr. at JPJR07. Follow Rad Rob at Rad Rob Gaming. And follow Dr. Ocho at the Dr. Ocho. Got a question for Johnny? Send your questions to straightup5podcast at gmail.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. Right here on the Rad Rob Radio Network.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.